such a complete shill.
Anyway.
Uh, and now we're on beat.
My god. Oh my god. Is it starting already?
Yes, we're
Oh
live.
god. We're live? Ew.
Stop being like.
Ew.
Nah, I just need to know.
No, I wasn't even watching what I was saying, so if I said something bad, oh shit. This is
No,
terrible.
like you, we just barely went live.
Oh, okay. I'm so glad.
We, we.
Well, no, you're gonna have to introduce the audience. You're introducing the audience to who I am, because I sure as fuck don't gonna do it.
Oh, trust me, I will. But I just need to. I gotta see like. I gotta see if I know it's working or not.
It is
Hmm.
a testing mic. 1 2 1 2 3 1 2 3 4. Red blue red blue red blue red blue.
Well, I need to hear from the outsider's perspective.
Pop 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 pop
I
pop
got. I
pop
gotta know
pop
if.
pop.
I gotta know if you're saying something, because otherwise it'd be for naught.
That
Yeah.
threw me off for a second. Hold on. Let me go check the YouTube channel real quick. Hooray! Technical issues. Hooray!
Well, I need to hear from the outsider's perspective. Perfect. I can hear you, but you're mighty quiet.
Am I quiet?
Yes, hold
Oh
on.
shit.
Oh wait, there you go. I got the problem right here.
What happened? What was it?
You were quiet.
It was just too epic.
Hmm. Let's see. Let's see if that fixes anything worth of its damn salt.
Am I am I a cool YouTuber now? Yeah.
Let's see. There we go.
Let's hear what I sound like. Do I sound cool? Do I sound epic? Do I sound like a YouTuber that knows what he's doing?
Probably not.
Psych. Ah, you have 144 subscribers. You lost 3. Ah, loser.
Wait, I lost subs? Don't tell me I actually
I
lost.
laugh.
Still there?
Oh, I said. Oh, could. I could hear. I could hear myself kind of fine.
There. That just to boost up the
I could hear myself damn fine.
to boost up the audio, so that way it will feel better, look better. No, make you sound normal.
Oh hell yeah! As if I ever sound normal, but it's a good attempt.
All right. Shake off all this.
Is this gonna be a live stream or is this a video? I don't know.
I recorded it too, so don't worry. I'm doing both. Just in case
Oh, okay.
just in case, like you said, the conditions. If it goes on for like an hour and we still haven't finished like the
Oh.
first game, then we'll make it a parter.
Oh hell yeah. Anyway, well, now that this is officially not on your channel, and now that you're the one hosting all of this, you have to do the intro.
Do I gotta do my usual cringy intro, or when we formal with this? This is a tough decision.
Do whatever. Do whatever. Improvise. It's your channel, not mine. Why am I telling you what to do?
All right. Okay. All right. Hello, everyone.
God.
Welcome back once more. And I am live streaming today with a good friend of mine. Well, his name is That Fan. He's been the person I keep mentioning a lot in my videos. He's the person who's tormented me day in and day out, but it's still a good friend all the same. You want to give a little shout out here, That Fan? That.
Oh.
Good job.
I'm so glad I'm so glad you had that intro started out so well, and then you just fumbled right at the end. Oh. If this isn't going to be specific about what this channel is like, I don't know what is at this point.
Oh well. It's a live stream where people really expecting top tier freaking React Bro quality.
You know, right? Right. We were supposed to be monotonous about this, and we were just gonna be super casual and chill about the whole tier list. But then turns out both of us kind of fumbled a bit when making this whole live stream. Uh,
Oh well.
I'm not gonna get into specifics about it, but anyway, you wanted to do this. You didn't want to do this video topic for a little while. Do you want to explain why you suddenly had the change of heart?
Well, yes, to my concurrent fans who are probably watching this or watching this later, the reason why I didn't do
Space
this,
Coast to Coast guy.
yes, mainly like the one person. The reason why I didn't want to do this is just simply because I felt like I couldn't cover it properly. And that is very prevalent in the video I made a long time ago, where for like 47 minutes it just went from trying to be good and then it rambled off into his own personal rants and problems. So I decided to get someone who knows the series just as much as I do, if not probably a little bit more better, to give me their thoughts and feelings on it, and to kind of keep me in line. So if you see me trailing off, he will probably make fun of me along the way. And
Yeah. I'm so glad. I'm so glad the guy who's known the series for like how many years? 5 or so at this point. I would say
probably like 7+ years.
7+ years. Knows less than the guy who only played it like 2 years ago
I mean,
and only replayed the first game today.
well,
This week actually.
I mean, let's not get on the whole origin of how we know these games, especially I can't talk. Because it's just like, the only reason why I knew Danganronpa was because I stumbled upon like all the freaking Blackened and Murdered video compilations, like for the first 2 games, predating at least a year or 2 before V3 came out.
Yeah.
So
Yeah,
that's
and
the
then and then you fell into your crippling depression of Danganronpa ending. But we'll get to that. We'll get to that eventually.
we'll cross that bridge when we definitely get there.
It'll be burned by the end, but still.
Be burnt? No, that's not burnt. That's just pure exhaustion. But
It's
like we said, we'll cross that bridge when we get there. Maybe, who knows? I'm not promising nothing at this point.
Should I also tell why I'm even part of this at all, or is that going to be also you explain all this because it's your channel?
Please speak your part. Everyone has their own piece in this shit.
Speak my part.
Yes.
Well, about why I've been brought along here today, and the whole reason you're even doing this in the first place.
Bingo.
Alright, so what happened was how I got introduced to Danganronpa. I knew about it because of the internet from a while ago, but I'd never played the games. I was never really interested in it, you know. It was just kind of the thing where I was just like, I don't want to mess with this thing. Because mainly the reason why I didn't do that was because I didn't have anything that could play it at the time, because context, I'm a Nintendo kid. I'm one of the few people on planet Earth who owned the Wii U. Hey. So, there's that. And wow. Let me breathe. So, I didn't have anything to play on it for the longest time, until eventually I got my Nintendo Switch. And apparently just Nintendo Switch was just the gateway for everything, because I played a lot of iconic franchises on that system. And one of them was Danganronpa, which came onto the Switch. All 3 games except Ultra Despair Girls that this motherfucker right here kept roasting me about. It's like, ha, you don't have Ultra Despair Girls? Ha, poor ass, broke ass, fucking loser.
Oh, come on. It's just basic ethics. If they can have all 3 main lines, but don't have the side main line, that's a skill issue on their part.
It's a skill issue. Meanwhile, the sideline game is considered one of the most opinionated ones in the entire franchise, but I haven't played that one still, so...
It's opinionated.
What the hell do I know?
It's opinionated. It's not hated. I personally loved it. But then again, it's just a me thing.
It's a skill issue.
Of course it is.
Anyway, eventually, it was a combination of me wanting to check... So eventually what made me decide to play Danganronpa was a combination of me wanting to check out the franchise, because I was curious about it, because I think at that point I'd already beaten both the Ace Attorney games, the trilogy, and the Great Ace Attorney Chronicles, which I love those games.
Oh no, not Ace
And I was like,
Attorney.
well, here's, oh yeah, we'll get into that can of worms another time, unless you decide to bring it up out of nowhere, or like you always do. But anyway, I decided it was the curiosity of just checking out these title IPs after in the Ace Attorney games. And the second reason was because this man here uploaded a video a year ago. It's almost been nearly a year ago or two, right? Right, since that original Danganronpa tier list
It's been like at
that he
least
made, right?
2 years, if I remember correctly.
Almost 2 years. He made a video, and I was just like, alright, you know what? I'm just gonna finally play all these games, get my opinions on all these trials, so then I can finally watch this man's video on the thing. Because, truth be told, I do watch this channel from time to time, but there's just a lot of topics where I'm just completely lost, where I'm just like, oh my god, it's Ruby, oh man, I don't know anything about this shit. Skip. So,
Oh,
no offense, by the way.
it's all good. It's really good. I don't think anyone is gonna be willing to watch a video. I'm not saying that in like a self-deprecating, but it's just like, I'm not gonna cover every topic that everyone just happens to know about.
And so there's just a ton, and I was just like, well, I have the chance to play Danganronpa, and this might be one of the few topics that we can actually talk about together, because truth be told, it's somehow fascinating that we're friends, even though we have completely different taste in almost every other regard possible. It's crazy how often we disagree on everything.
I mean, it's not bad.
Yeah, no.
I mean, I prefer to
Not
have this
bad.
kind of discourse. Because I feel like if we were agreed on everything, I feel like we wouldn't really have a true friendship behind it. Because at that point, it'd
It'd
just
be
be
boring.
it'd be an echo chamber in my book. It's like, oh, we're friends because we like the same thing. I mean, when you talk about Ace Attorney, I'm just like, yeah, I know about the guy with the funny ass hair. I know about the Clussy,
Yes.
even though I just bought that game like less than 7 months ago and still haven't gotten past chapter 2 yet.
Yeah, of course he did. Betraying me every time he gets.
It's on the
Very-
backlog, okay?
Very cool.
It's on the backlog.
It's on the backlog. Meanwhile, this man is going like, oh yeah, play Dying Light right now. Oh man, backlog? What's that? You're supposed to play what I tell you right now.
Okay. Of course.
Okay, buddy.
You know, it's bias. Bias
anyway.
for bias sake.
Biases make worse people. Yeah, okay. But anyway, so what happened was, after I played all the 3 Danganronpa games, I had my opinions on the entire trials and the chapters and all that stuff. And then I went to watch his video, and oh boy, 47 minutes of God, what the hell was that video? And later, I called him about it. I think after I watched that video, maybe it was like a day later, where he was just like, oh, you want to talk? And then we just talked about an entire tier list. And here's the funny thing. I think both me and him thought that because I literally made fun of that entire video, he thought he deleted the video itself. He thought it was gone forever, just wiped from the history altogether. So I was just like, alright, so why don't you just like remake the tier list one day? Hey. And this is an idea that he and I have been like tossing around for like
Ever.
how long, actually?
It's been like a year, 2
It's
years
been forever.
Because going back on your
this thing
first
has been-
statement, really, it's been September 21st of 2021 since I made that video, which is still up. If you want to watch it and and feel horrible watching it, it is every bit as terrible as he says it is.
Well, yeah, no, we made that video, and this idea has been around for so long. It comes up in almost every other conversation we've ever had, and he's always been like, oh yeah, I'll do it one day, until inevitably I just kind of showed, until we had this conversation again, and then I was just kind of tired of him always just dilly-dallying about it. So I was just like, okay, you know what, how about this? We do the live stream of the tier list, I'll join you, help you make the entire tier list, and then you can finally upload it on your channel, so that way now you can finish one of your several projects that you said you were going to work on that you never do.
I know.
And then he agreed to it, and then that's how it kind of led up to this whole thing.
Of course, because I finally have something to do. Because I feel like that was the one thing I was missing, was the fact that I don't have anyone to work with. Because truth be told, I don't know if I mentioned this in my previous videos, but I have mentioned that I feel like that I need someone to bounce off with, whether it's on screen or off screen. Making videos by myself, sure, it's fun, but I feel like I don't have not a per se an echo chamber, but someone that could keep the conversation
Voice
with me
of
flowing.
reason.
Yes, like if I'm talking about like Twitter shit, and then I'd be like, this is why people suck, and I can have someone be like, not everyone sucks, only like probably a few people suck.
Yeah.
Yeah, my throat is
Yeah.
dry.
Yeah, this is all going back to the idea that it's like for the longest time he has asked me to be the co-host on this channel for like years now. Ever since I started talking about this channel on like a frequent basis with him, he has constantly begged me to be like why don't you just be the co-host of this channel? Come on, make videos with me and all that stuff. And I never really had an interest to do it, frankly, because I have a job, like a real life job. Not discrediting YouTubers and being like, oh, they don't have fucking jobs. They're all fucking no, not like that. Like I have to go to like a place. They say work 9 to 5, whatever, 8 hours a day. So I don't really have enough time. I just want to kind of come back home and just kind of relax by myself.
Which I'm not discrediting him. He has a job. I can vouch for him with that. He does work, and Saturdays and the weekends are probably the only few times he actually is off. So I do get his perspective. But to offer my side of it, I wanted him to be on here because I thought he'd be a great life to the channel. And plus, I am willing to pay him if I ever get monetized. It wasn't just going to be a free ride.
Yeah, he signed a contract where he's basically owes me $1 trillion for being the co-host of this channel. It's great.
Oh yeah, I better be making Mr. Beast money then. Mr. Beast fucking views if I ever want to pay him that much.
You hear that though? You hear that? That one person in chat, you have to donate $1 trillion today, or else this entire thing is off. Oh.
It's don't be like that. You're gonna scare like the one viewer away from ever coming back from this live stream.
Tripping your guilt trip audience, guilt trip audience, guilt trip audience.
Don't guilt trip the audience. You're gonna discourage them from watching more live streams.
Can't help it. It's my only purpose in life to bully your audience. No, I'm kidding. The one guy in chat or girl, I don't know. You have the space coast to coast guy. You seem fine. You seem fine. You seem chill.
Exactly. I'm not
Cool.
I'm not trying to assume any genders, but I'm assuming genders for this time being. Until you prove me otherwise.
Anyway, I have no idea by the end of this if I'm gonna be like a permanent co-host or whatever. I'll probably do it when I'm available.
Yeah.
And if the topic interests me, because to be honest, I'm not gonna be the kind of person that's gonna be like, I want to jump on the Twitter video, every other time. You know what I mean?
Yeah, I get you. I'm not gonna force you to be on every video, but when it's something I'm definitely gonna cover that you might know about, it's like, oh sure, I'm game. Like say it's like Resident Evil, Guacamelee, Ace Attorney, One Piece for God's sake. I'm like, hey, you wanna hop on this and write this video for all its content?
Oh yeah, the hundreds of topics that I know of that you don't care about. Oh yeah, you'll definitely start them after the years I begged of you. Okay, yeah, sure, buddy.
Oh, see, you don't gotta bring that shit up like that. you don't gotta bring that shit up like that. But point
It do
being,
be like that though.
it do be like that, but it could be as simple as just, like if I find a topic that interests me, I want to see if it gets your interest. It's not gonna just be like I'm gonna call you at 3 in the morning and be like, get your ass ready for a stream or a video. I need your voice for like 5 minutes.
Get your bitch ass out of bed. I don't care if you're gonna have to go to work in like the next 10 minutes or so. You're gonna record this video with me, or so God help it, I will find your family and give them a nice friendly sandwich, and definitely nothing.
Exactly.
Nothing else.
Nothing too age restricting or demonetizing, right? Fan, you can't be saying that.
YouTube.
Not on YouTube.
It really can't be doing anything of the sorts.
You can't be threatening people's lives now with such horrible idealism.
Oh, wait till I leak the messenger screenshots. Oh, bro, you're gonna be in so much.
Oh
Oh
yeah.
shit.
How about you don't leak that? I think, hey, you're gonna go down with the ship if you do that, right?
I'm not going. I'm not going down with the ship. You are.
You're gonna go down
You
with
are.
the.
You're the guilty one.
I'm the guilty one. Yeah, but you're gonna go down with the ship with me. You know that, right?
Yeah. No. No. No.
You, you,
No. No.
you're
No.
gonna
No. No.
come
No.
with me. Like,
Well, I'm not a YouTuber. I don't have to worry about this.
oh
Really,
yeah.
you're the only one that's in danger.
Oh yeah. Of course, I'm the one in danger. You're guilty by association, right?
Well,
No, wait.
I mean, I'll just easily disassociate from you. I'd be like, I never knew he was like this. He
Oh,
has such a
I
dark
know what
side
you're
to
gonna
him."
do. I know what you're gonna do. You're gonna save all of it, admit like a fucking like twit longer about it, and then use it as
We're
evidence
making-
against me. And like, this YouTuber is a bad friend and a bad content creator. Here's why. Shows all like a little messages and shit. Get me exposed, and like I got like a sappy ass apology video. Like, I'm sorry.
I'm
I'm toxic.
I'm literally just gonna, I'm just gonna upload an entire. I'm just gonna make an entire YouTube channel, make the one documentary, and then just leave forever. All right.
Just leave. It's like, all right, fine then. Just.
I did my part. Goodbye.
It's like, naturally, of course he did. He's doing his part, he says.
Yeah.
All right.
Anyway, should we actually get started on this fucking tier list?
Yes.
I don't even.
Let's actually put some effort into this. Though I think we're going to probably be done with this regardless. I don't think it's going to be a parter.
Yeah, did we even mention? Did we mention what we were actually doing, or did we just kind of just wander off like bozos?
No, I remember from the last conversation we had that you wanted to do all the games at once. You didn't want to just be like 1-1, 1-2, 1-3, 3-1. Sorry,
Oh, yeah.
1-1, 2-1, 3-1. You want to go through all the games and be in and out.
Yeah, that's right. Because the way you wanted to organize this, you wanted to do the first trial of the first game, and then you want to do the first trial of the second game, and I was just like, that's just weird how that's organized. That doesn't make sense. Literally, there's no flow there. What the fuck are you doing?
I know.
Literally have it.
See,
There's literally an easier option.
this is why you're the co-host of the show, because you know what the hell you're talking about. Me?
You can't be the co-host of the show if something basic like this is escaping from your memory.
Exactly. I can't be the damn host. You're running shit now. You want my channel now? You're running shit. All right. You're gonna be leading the 144 subs now. You're leading this.
I'm gonna be cursing. I'm gonna start uploading cap cuts. Is what you're saying? Oh shit.
Another example of you should need to be saying that.
Remember, boys and girls, he's the one that invited me to be the co-host. He said I would be the perfect counterbalance to all this. And look what's happening already. Day one.
It's okay.
Hostility.
Don't worry, super fans.
Hostility and mutiny.
I'm probably slowly regretting every goddamn decision. I'm slowly regretting it. But I'm happy nonetheless.
Oh man.
Alright.
Anyway.
Let's actually get this stream started. I think we had enough fluff time between
Hooray.
then and now.
Hooray.
Oh, wait. Before we start. Quick
Hooray.
spoiler to anyone who hasn't played the DR series, mainly the main lines. I will be advised if you don't watch this stream or the later video going forward, okay? Just in case you haven't played the games, please buy the games for yourself, play them, love them, have your own different opinion. This is between two friends who are going to probably be like jackasses with this video / live stream.
We're gonna be total tools about it. We're gonna say every trial is in F tier or D tier. That's the lowest one. And piss off the entire community of our opinions anyway. Because no matter what, someone's gonna get angry at our opinions. Hooray.
No, it's not opinions. I don't care what people think. I don't care they put like a whole paragraph and be like, this video sucks. It's simply just, if you haven't played the games, don't let us spoil them for you. Please, go buy them yourself, play them, love them the way we love them, and enjoy yourself. Come back to the video after you're done. Probably wasting like 200 plus hours in Danganronpa, but that's neither here or there.
Oh yeah, should I be sharing my screen? Because I'm technically have the thing open myself. Should I be sharing mine so that way the audience can see my tier list? I mean, I know it's your chat.
Well, I thought
it's your tier list that's gonna to be important. So.
Well, I thought that we were gonna be sharing like one tier list together. We was gonna debate it like really
Okay.
hard, and be like, like why do you think that? Probably like game 2, case 1 would be like one like D tier. You'd be like, this has to be S tier, and I'm like, how about we cut both ways and B and B? That way it's neither good or bad.
Okay. All right.
Alrighty.
I guess we can do that. Let's start with chapter. Oh wait, you're supposed to start this. Hold on, what the fuck am I doing taking your hosting position? Get started, host.
Well, I was gonna say, you know what? Never mind. Let's just move on. Let's just move on before I scream at something.
I shut up.
All right. Let's begin with the very first chapter of the franchise. Game 1, Case 1, To Survive, or whatever the Japanese version is, or English version. Who fucking matters?
I don't care about the Japanese version because only English dubs for me, please.
Yes, because I'm a dub elitist. I mean, I'm a dub. No. And I dubbed my grave.
You dubbed your grave or you dug it?
No, I dubbed it specifically. It's gonna be in bad dubs
Dubbed my
too.
grave. Oh god.
But anyway,
Stories eat your heart out.
Anywho, the very first chapter of the franchise, the first one. Oh shit! I didn't think I'd get this far. You got context for it?
I'm so glad I'm the only one who's prepared, who is slightly prepared for this stream.
Well, we're not gonna get an A on this. It's not like this is gonna give me Mr. Beast numbers, but it's a fun stream. I want to have fun. I didn't ask for homework.
No, really? Yeah, the Danganronpa super fan who constantly complains about me not doing everything, watching every single canon thing possible, is already asking me for context on the first trial of the first game.
No, because because your ass still don't want to go watch the Danganronpa 3 anime because he's like, I'd rather go eat cinder blocks than watch it. It's
Yeah,
like,
exactly.
even though it has important, it's canonical, it has story relevance, you should still watch it, and you're just like, nah, I'd rather be hit with like lightning 3 times in a row than watch it.
Exactly. But no, it's just funny. You're the super fan, and I'm just the guy who played it for like 2 years ago, and I only replayed it this week, dude.
Oh, I know. I'm not making too much beef.
He's already starting the beef already. We haven't even started this tier list. You can already tell this is gonna go horribly.
Naturally, it's gonna go absolutely wrong. But anyway, the first chapter.
Wait, so I'm supposed to give... Am I supposed to give context for the entire chapter?
No, not the entire chapter. I guess.
Just quick summarize everything.
Yeah, I guess a quick ghetto summarize.
Quick ghetto summarize. Okay. This is the first chapter. This is where we get introduced to Nagito and the rest of the 15 students. We learn about Hope's Peak and how they're trapped in there in the death game. And this is the first... And because it's the first chapter, things start out slowly, you know, there's no killing games or all that stuff until Monokuma decides, oh wait, I need a motive. And then his first motive is basically giving these mysterious CDs to all the students that basically show, hey, look at your home life, look at that thing you liked. It's been destroyed. What happened to it? Well, you'll only find out if you graduate. And by graduate, I mean kill someone. And eventually the chapter just slowly starts becoming unnerving as the days pass by. You don't know what everyone's thinking because you don't know what's at stake for each person. And then comes time, the first student to be killed is Sayaka, the ultimate idol? The ultimate pop star.
It's kind of like either or, depending what you watch. The games is
Yeah,
idol, ultimate, or like in the anime, I think like ultimate pop sensation. It was one of those two. I think I'm probably getting the mix up.
I think it is Ultimate Pop Sensation. Wow, I'm so glad I prepared for this advance and I already forgot the title of the first murder victim. Ah, oh, great.
It's okay. You think I remember anyone's talents half the time?
Yeah, fair enough. Anyway, so Sayaka's killed, and then you basically learn the game's basic mechanics of the investigation, talk about investigations, and then we head into the class trial, where it eventually turns out that Sayaka was killed because she originally was trying to kill someone else, and she just happened to pick a random target who turns out to be Leon Kawada, who turns out to be the Blackened in this case, or the murder, or the suspect in this case, and he just basically killed Sayaka after he defended himself from her attack, and he gets executed by being pummeled by baseballs. Yeah, that's the first chapter, lightly summarized. Very terribly. I might have could have done things smoother, but
It's not bad, really. I think that was perfectly summarized, in my opinion.
yeah, because you only remember who died, and oh yeah, and Junko Enoshima died in the middle of that chapter.
Yeah,
She broke the rules.
she just got freaking mutilated like halfway through.
But yeah. Anyway, what are you gonna put this? Where are you gonna put this first, Mister? Mister.
I mean, going by personal people's tier lists and my own personal thoughts, I feel like the mix with it, with the very first case, is kind of not controversial. It's kind of objectively weird. But I see people always put it in the bottom tier because it's the first trial and it's not that strong. But then people don't want to put it in S tier. I say for me, it's a solid A because it's the first trial and it's a good starter to the game overall, the mechanics.
A.
I think it's a.
No, I'll let you finish first, and then I'll get on to mine.
No, I didn't have nothing to add on to that. I was gonna say what you were saying.
Okay. I would honestly probably either put this at like C or B. I'd probably put this in like maybe B, now that I'm thinking about it. For me, I wouldn't put it in A. I don't know because we're probably gonna move trials down as like the list continues to evolve further and further. So maybe this will end up in C, but for right now, I'd probably say B. Because it's a decent starter chapter, you know what I mean? There's a lot of mystery and intrigue off the bat. You know, and you definitely feel the tension rising as the days pass by, and you just realize, oh shit, someone's gonna kill someone eventually. I will say, it did shock me a little when Sayaka did die, even though it seemed like the game was pointing to either she was going to be a killer or she was going to be one of the first victims. It did still get me a little bit in the gut, but eventually I was just kind of... It wasn't too much of a shocker, because I'm going to be that guy. I totally saw the fact that Sayaka betrays Nagito and was going to try to frame him coming from a mile away.
I know. I saw it too. It was kind of too obvious of how increasingly more radical she became. I'm not saying she was schizo off the bat, but it was becoming too aware. And
This is literally after I played the Ace Attorney games, and I was just like, oh, you had a female assistant in that game, and she helped you the entire time, and so I was just like, oh, this game is doing something similar, but wait, it's a battle royale kind of thing. So, oh, wait, she's probably gonna try to betray us, and then she did. And I was just like, when I got to that point of the mystery, I was just like, oh, saw that coming. And I wasn't impacted by that twist as many people would. No.
But going back on the trial, how did you feel about Leon killing Sayaka? Like, the whole murder overall, if we want to dive into that a little bit.
Shouldn't you be saying this? Because you're the one it's your tier list, dude, not mine. I'm
Well,
only adding my opinion afterward.
Well, I want to add both our opinion, because my opinion, I know is straightforward. It's just, I want to know yours. But for me to go first, I think my opinion is, I feel like that she could have picked a more easier target. I think she picking Leon, someone who not only outweighs her both in strength and probably physical, but the fact that she just could have just picked Naegi. I know that that's main character and she could have just killed him and the story be over. But I personally think anyone else could have been good. You got Asahina, you got Fujisaki, you got Hifumi, for God's sake, if you wanted to do him in. But Leon, the guy who was physically stronger than her, was the easier target. But I'm not discrediting her, or even in this case Leon, to some degree. Leon was in his right to defend himself, as Celeste mentioned in the trial. But as she mentions again going forward, that he could have just simply went back to his room and simply escaped not doing the murder. I think Leon got caught up in the heat of the moment, and it was fight or flight, and he, and fight prevailed.
Okay. For me, objectively, I think Leon is probably one of the weaker suspects in the entire franchise. I mean, I get it. It's the first case. It's the first trial. You don't want to really like make it difficult off the bat, so it has to be obvious. But like the mystery of the whole like number thing behind Sayaka, it just turns out, oh, it's Leon's name. It's like it's already pretty obvious your first time playing through, and then be me, the person that's replaying this for the sake of this tier list. It goes from, oh wait, it's already obvious, to just, oh, these people are just fucking stupid if they're not seeing this shit. And Leon's not really a character. I feel more he's just like just a way to ease the story into like, look at this. This is how the Blackens are gonna work. It's just gonna be one of the students that you hung out with. But like they didn't really give Leon too much to do anyway. Here, so him being the Blackened didn't even leave that much of a strong impact in the first place. Hell, I often forget that he's one of the students that are in the like the courtroom. Because they have like all the portraits of them just standing around and all that stuff. I always glance over Leon's thing because I always forget that. Oh yeah, technically he was one of the first ones to go.
Trust me, I keep forgetting him too. Leon suffers from like game one, like game not no okay. Let me rephrase it. He and everyone going forward in the first trial always suffers from case 1 syndrome. Like there's always a third case syndrome. This is case 1 syndrome, where the first Blacken and the first murder are often more or less forgotten or just forgettable. And they won't have as much character development going forward. They're memorable probably by appearance alone, but outside of that, unless you're actively going to talk to them in the extras modes, you won't really remember them a lot. And unfortunately, Leon is one of them. Not everyone's gonna remember Leon Kawada, the ultimate former baseball star, wanted to be rock star.
I think in this case, it's just that it's Leon, and he didn't really have much of a personality anyway. He was just kind of the hyperactive, I want to be the rock star kind of guy. So they really didn't do much with him in the first place, and it's just like, oh, he's the Blacken. Oh well, I guess that's cool.
Yep. I remember when I first played this trial, I hated Sayaka for a while. And again, this was like years ago. I didn't like her when she tried to betray us, or hell, the mere thought that she tried to set us up for failure. That drove me crazy at one point, believing that.
Right off the gate.
Yeah, but now going back on it and realizing that she did what she needed to do, it was like, oh, no problem. I get it. I'm glad at the end she could have changed her ways and tell us who the killer was. But in that moment, I actually felt hurt. I felt the true betrayal behind it. Being set up for a murder I didn't commit. And to think about it, like if she actually succeeded, I could have been executed and everyone could have died. You know.
Yeah.
I know it sounds weird coming from me with it, because when it comes to like Danganronpa or visual novels, even like Ace Attorney, I put myself in that same mindset.
Fictional media.
Yes, there you go. I put myself in that character's spot. Like, whether they're like a self-insert or not, I put myself in their position and try to feel what they're feeling. You know, I don't try to watch something objectively from like the observer spot where it's just, oh, I'm only feeling it, I'm only knowing their story. I want to know how they are in a situation.
I understand it. To extent because it's kind of like Nagito as a character. He's not really that much of a character, to be honest. I feel like he's more or less a way for the players to insert themselves into the story, because he doesn't really have as much defined character traits as most protagonists would have in these visual novels.
Yeah,
stories. But
he's more or less a blank slate. I mean, he doesn't even have a talent as far as we go, besides being the ultimate lucky student, and that's because he won the lottery.
Yeah, no. This case is decent, alright, for what it is, but I don't think I would put this in A tier, to be honest. I'm hesitating to even say B tier. So I'd probably either B or C.
A low B, but a high C.
Maybe.
I was thinking about it now.
Go with that. Not high C.
Yeah, I'll pick it a high C too. As much as I think it should deserve A, I think it's only just because of first trial bias. First game, first trial, therefore it deserves a lot more respect.
Slack.
Yes.
Yeah, you definitely have to give it some slack because this is the first one that started everything. So it's not like off the gate you're gonna be like, all right, we're gonna hit them with the strongest thing possible. No, you have to ease players into the game, how to do the free time stuff, how to do the investigations, how the class trials are gonna work.
Exactly.
So you can't make the mystery too difficult. Multiple, but at the same time, I felt like they could have done a little bit more, because it feels like they were already trying to do more with the first chapter, and didn't feel like they did as much as they could have.
Yeah, because I feel like that. It was kind of like that. Just like, oh, they want to do a lot, but they didn't want to be overwhelmingly too much for players.
Yeah. No, case 1-1 C tier, hooray! It's already starting off to a controversial opinion because watch every other Danganronpa tier list maker be like, oh fuck all y'all, this should have been an S tier already.
Trust
Fuck
me,
you."
it's not even controversial in the slightest. Like, again, from every personal tier list video I've seen of trials, like, first trial is always going to be less than a B for some reason. And again, I don't know if it's biased or it's appropriate. So us putting it in C tier is more or less the same, history repeats itself kind of deal.
Eat.
But
Anyway.
moving to chapter 2.
Wait,
No, I have no good transition there.
fanboy Nagito swag, shut the fuck up.
Please.
Ban it from the chat. Ban from the chat already.
No, I can't. Don't tempting, I can't.
Tempting. Oh my god.
I was gonna say something really fucked up, but that was not gonna be approved.
Oh please.
No, it was.
Oh please
okay.
do. You already said the F word.
It wasn't gonna be jacked up, okay? It was just gonna be like, femboy. Why not reverse gender Nagito? That's peak. You get all the gaslighting from a female anyway.
Oh my god.
Like, Twitter rot. It's going on Twitter rot.
Twitter rot. That's what you have every day.
Of course. Why you think I?
Bro.
Of course, it's a bad habit. It's like second on my gotcha addiction. It's like gotcha addiction, Twitter rot, and YouTube.
You're a Twitter user and a gotcha player. Oh my god, you're actually just subhuman. Holy shit.
I know. I'm just so bad, terrible. I should just quit making content.
Because I'm being real. All right.
It's unbelievably base.
He lit up and he got too much. He got too much of that kush.
All right.
It was too strong for him.
You need a little pack watch. All right. Don't be a bozo now.
So, all right.
All
We're
right.
good. Moving on. Chapter 1, 2. The boy's daily life of despair.
Oh
There.
yeah.
You summarized the case this time.
Don't make me summarize it. I'm gonna fumble this and make it just like a
Oh.
short summarization.
I had to summarize the first one. You have to do the second one. It's only appropriate.
All right. You're gonna get my version of it.
Okay. And then I'm gonna get really angry. Is what you're saying? Okay,
Yes. You're gonna get
cool.
mad.
You're going out of your. You're gonna go out of your way to piss everyone off, just off the bat.
Of course. I'm gonna try my best though. I'm a little rusty.
Okay.
Alright, following after the first chapter of the death of the pop idol and the death of the baseball star main character, and them get access to the second floor of the academy they are in, which is known as Hope's Peak Academy, for those who may or may not know. And visiting that, they have a library, they have a pool, they had, a library, a pool, what else did they have there? A couple of classrooms.
Classrooms, yeah.
Yeah. But the main thing though, and the point of it, was the library that contains a couple of a laptop and a lot of books. That's the old books that probably predate a lot of things. And the laptop they found, though, wasn't working. Yeah, God, this is gonna be harder than I remember. I'm going off the bats. I'm winging this shit.
There was another thing in the library. Try to remember that.
What was the? Oh, wasn't it like a paper, a letter? Yeah, a letter to the headmaster. There's a letter to the headmaster talking about something. No, I'm not gonna put my phone up. I'm not gonna pick it up and pull out like a wiki summary. No, I'm doing this.
Look, Chad, he's trying to cheat already off the bat.
I'm not.
We haven't started the tier. We barely started.
But anyway, they find a letter to the headmaster. I forgot what the hell was on it because I'm stupid as shit. And okay, let me just be for real.
All right, yeah, I'll talk about the letter, and then I'll let you summarize the rest.
Yes, thank you. Please fill in some of the gaps. I'm bad at this. Okay.
Okay, so the letter, so on the letter, it basically is announcing the fact that Hope's Peak Academy was gonna go shut down for a bit, and it was gonna go contain the hope of the future generations because of the unforeseen events that were happening in the outside world, which up to this point right now we have no idea what it is, but we know it was something so bad that it basically caused Hope Peak to like shut down until further notice. And apparently like the letter was like a year old or something like that. And we don't really get much more context with it. We just know that just something terrible happened. And like the working theory among the students is that at this point it's just like, oh, we're at the abandoned Hope's Peak Academy. Anyway, it's been like over a year or so now. That's their theory.
Yeah.
Right. Now you go back to summarizing the case, buddy.
Oh, of course. Pass the torch to me, the guy who barely just made out like halfway through. I'm gonna spare a little bit of the more details here, but the point being, there's a friendship is sparked among the remaining students between them, between the ultimate gang leader, biker leader, whatever they keep changing his title to.
Mondo.
Yes. I was gonna leave the names out. Mondo, Wada,
Ishimara.
Are known as the ultimate
Moral Compass.
Yes, moral compass, or in the anime, the Hall Pass
Ultimate Hall Monitor.
It's a stupid title for the dubs, for like the anime. I'm sorry. Moral compass sounds cooler. But anyway, they get into their own little beef. They had a little bro off. After that, they became friends, which is kind of funny because I watched like the abridged version and they were like insinuating it was gay, but that's getting off topic. But the whole point is another person came into the show. Well, I guess in this killing game. And that is the very shy and timid I was gonna say Fuhiko Chihiro Fujisaki.
Fuhiko, man.
The ultimate programmer. This little dainty, fragile little girl who will probably cry at like the slightest voice yell. She wishes she could become a man just like Mondo and Ishimura. But we all know that
wants to be strong.
Wants to be big and strong. Swole even. Like muscles. Like you're from a like Banki. Or like JoJo's Bizarre Adventure.
Like Kuma. Like Kuma in real life.
No comment at this time. I can't comment on that. But
ladies, he's single and I promise you, he's not taken at all.
I'm looking for a boyfriend-free girl. Okay, I'm sorry. I'm sorry.
Oh my god.
I can't do that. That's still a hot topic on Twitter.
It's a hot topic in general, but anyway.
I guess. Oh my god, I am really fucking up on this. I don't remember too much about chapter 2. I told you I don't remember a lot from this besides who got murdered and who's black. I mean blackened.
Let me remind you, you were the guy who, when we started this at the beginning of last week, you were literally like, you have to do your homework, you have to do both of the games within this span of the week. And then when we started this call, you were just like, why didn't you do everything? Fuck you.
Hey, I'm biased, okay? I'm the same guy who didn't do dick, okay? You know what? I'm just gonna cut the bullshit out. Let's be honest. I'm just gonna cut the bullshit out. As much as I want to give context to this, let's just be for real. Musclehead has murdered the female, okay? He murdered the ultimate programmer, Fujisaki. In the girls' locker room.
Because of the motive.
Motive.
Right.
Yes, I know the motive. I remember the motive.
What was the motive? What was the motive?
The motive simply behind the motive was the fact that it was a secrets. Cause that was Monokuma's murder motive of the week. Was secrets. Everyone had a very terrible secret they wish to not have, and possibly even kill for. That people, don't really want to know. Like say if Naegi wets the bed, or hell, Kyoko was probably like a super murderer or something, or her dad's the headmaster, or whatever the fuck reason, or whoever.
Yeah.
Mondo's secret mystery was the fact that he accidentally killed his brother. And Fujisaki,
Yeah.
well, her secret is the fact that they ain't a sister, mister.
She was. You're a Mr. Sister.
They ain't a sister, mister. That's a whole ass twink.
That's a whole ass dude.
But that was the reason behind the murder. Fujisaki was seeing
basically-
Mondo late at night in the lockers room, wanted to be
Alright.
strong, trying to talk to him and trying to motivate him. Mondo, remembering this and thinking about his older brother, flew into a rage and accidentally killed Fujisaki. Being ashamed of what he did and realizing he just killed another person, he cleaned up the room and hid his body in the girls' locker room. And to add further context, one of the other students named Byakuya Togami, the ultimate heir, saw it and tampered with the body by hanging up in a similar fashion to another infamous killer who is a student of this academy, Genocider Jack or Jill or Genocider Show for any other variant of the translations, with the same way of
For the Japanese version that I don't care about because I hate the Japanese.
No, because it goes by 3 different titles: Genocider Jack, Genocider Jill, or Genocider Show. But let's leave it as Show because it's proper.
Because the whole thing is like it's Genocider Jack because everyone thinks it's a guy, but spoiler, turns out it's a girl.
Exactly. In reality, it's another student named Toko Fukawa who has, if I remember correctly,
The worst character ever.
Yes, who if I remember correctly has dissociative personality disorder.
Dissociative identity disorder.
There you go.
Yeah.
I'm sorry.
Or
I didn't mean to make it sound so.
Or as the game put it in like one of the Hangman Gabbets, schizo.
Oh yeah, I remember that.
I literally was replaying that trial, and I got to that part, and I was just like, okay, they're gonna make me spell out like DID just to like shorten it. And then there was more letters, so I was like, oh wait, what is the word? and then as I was spelling it out, I was like, oh no.
You're like, oh god, schizo.
I burst out laughing as soon as I saw that. Like, I probably shouldn't have to be fair, but it was just so goddamn funny that just the game was just so unhinged at that moment and was just basically like, yeah, schizo over here.
I mean, this whole trial was unhinged. Ranging from the murder to the tampering of the corpse to realizing that girl isn't a girl and a dick in a dress to a literal serial killer alt account. Come on. It's Danganronpa. I'm not holding it to any high regards at this point. Coming from the first trial when someone was stabbed in my bathroom and it got clean as if no one was there at all. I'm not. This is gonna be just another thing in Danganronpa. But yes.
Nothing.
But the ultimate effluent heir, or they call him the ultimate progenitor heir, or just the ultimate douchebag, try to pin this murder on another student, Toko Fukawa, the ultimate bookworm or ultimate literature writer, whatever the fuck you want to call her, depending on how the translations are going. And
the ultimate novelist.
Yes. And so she switched out to her alt account, the ultimate, serial killer.
Murderous fiend.
God, there's so many freaking titles to this in the translations. I'm just gonna put my
Man literally out here didn't prepare for a single thing at all and was expecting me to carry the entire video for him.
No, not necessarily. But anyway,
Yeah, it sure does feel like that.
Anyway,
Right? One member in the audience is watching this video.
god damn it. But anyway, anywho, the alt account comes out and pretty much defends her piece by saying she didn't do that because that wasn't her way of killing. Because her previous victims had been hung to the wall via skizzers, as they call them. Not scissors, skizzers. And she has pierced them in specific part. Yes. And she pierced them
English dub.
within the hands, wrist, and chest area, and the shoulder blades, to hold them against the wall. And written on the wall, bloodbath fever. Or what was the other version? The Japanese version. Was it the same thing?
Lust. Wasn't it bloodlust?
Yes. I know the English version was like bloodbath fever. I'm really.
Man, one of us played this. Man, one of us played the games and one of us didn't. Can you tell which one is the real fan of this series?
No. The real question. No. That's not right. One of us played it in English. The other one played it in full Japanese. Can you tell one of us is the real fan?
Play it in full Japanese.
Well, one of us played it in the proper translations. One of us played it in the not so proper translations.
One of us actually played the games and was trying to prepare for this stream, and even the other one wasn't.
Like I said, this is a fun stream. This wasn't going to be like a whole trials and tribulations. But
Oh my god.
anyway, shocking. But yes,
Okay.
ultimate biker gang leader is the one who did in the little twink in the dress, which is kind of funny. He had no reason to.
Oh yeah.
Well, he had plenty of reason to because of the secrets, but I feel like that his little PTSD moment is what really fucked him over in the end.
Yeah. Yeah. But anyway, where are you gonna put this on your fucking ranking tier list, Mr. Kuma of Cryo?
Well, Mr. That, I was thinking about putting it in.
Mr. That.
What? You only have two things. Like, you only work with two things, either that or fan, and fan is kind of hard to keep saying consistently.
Okay.
But I was thinking about.
Fair enough, I guess.
I think Game 1, Case 2 deserves a good high B.
I agree. I agree completely.
It's a good second chapter to the franchise. I mean, it's really good in emotional wise. Because going by the franchise, they have a set parameter for all their chapters. And honestly, I call them all their syndromes. Like, Game 1 is always the first for everything and the unexpected betrayal / shock reveal. Case 2 is always going to be the more heartstringy, sad one. Case 3, we all know about Case 3 syndrome. Everyone knows it. Everyone who plays Ace Attorney or even Danganronpa knows the Case 3 syndrome.
Please stop saying Ace Attorney. You haven't even played the games. Why do you keep bringing them up like you know something about them?
Because I'm trying to sound smart for like 5 minutes, okay? Let me have this.
You literally admitted it at the beginning of the stream that you haven't even touched them. Oh my guy.
Well, I thought you was gonna interject and be like, that's not true. Ace Attorney Chapter 3s don't have a double murder. I mean, do they?
Actually. Oh. Them two.
Do they?
What the hell am I gonna tell you? No.
Damn it. Well, then scrap that. The whole point is Chapter 3 for all three mainline games will always have a double murder. Chapter 4 will always be killing off anyone who wouldn't make it to endgame anyway. Chapter 5 is setting up endgame and so on and so forth. You could tell distinctly for all the syndromes they play exactly the same in terms of trials, which outside ranking it, I feel like they should have switched up a little bit going forward with the games, but that's getting off the tracks.
Same basic formula for all three of them.
I know, and I wish they could have mixed it up a bit, like the game 2 could have had like a double murder in the first trial or something like that, something just to keep it like randomized, unexpected.
Or just kill them. Or just kill them all in the first trial. Fuck it, right?
Slow as like that'd be the best $20 I dumped into like a small ass game. Like, wow, everyone's dead. I guess why I wasn't playing a damn demo.
Full $60, baby.
But yes, Game 1, Case 2 is a B tier at best. It's a good emotional game. It was a good emotional trial. The characters were good. I feel like there was a lot of defining moments in there. I'm sorry for giving it such a bad rep for being with this shitty summarization.
Oh man, I'm not. By the way, you're gonna summarize every case from now on just to improve every time.
God damn, you really gotta be like that?
I mean, if you want me to summarize the next case, I can, because I recently just finished that one today.
Yes, since you just finished that one, I want you to at least do that one.
Fine. But anyway, where I was gonna put it, I also agree with B tier. Guys, I swear we're not an echo chamber. I swear to God, we're not. We just agree on something.
Exactly.
We just agree on something for right now. But watch later on. We're gonna get to certain cases, and we're gonna disagree fucking hard.
Exactly.
Hard, dude. But anyway, I like case 1 too. A lot of it has stepped up. I like the black and more in this one. I like Mondo a lot. I like how they make him so vulnerable in this case. There's just a lot of step ups in this direction. I really like Chihiro as a character. They stepped the fuck up. Everyone stepped the fuck up. The only thing that really bothers me about this case was the whole Byakuya role in this whole scenario. Because he was literally just like, well, I saw the murder happen, but let me manipulate the situation anyway. And he acted like as if he was going to be listened to, that the students were going to believe him. He would have been like, oh shit, they're actually going to vote for me. Oh wait, actually it was Mondo. Like, how the fuck was that going to work, bro? Like, he's trying to make himself sound smart and all that. And by the end of it, because he literally just explains, oh yeah, I saw the murder, and it was so easy to solve. I literally just thought of messing with the body just to make it harder.
Yeah, which I don't understand. To add to that,
you literally
I don't understand Byakuya's whole like thing. Cause I know he's a douchebag, and he treats it as if this is a game and he's gonna win the game. But it's just like, dog, this shit is gonna kill any credibility you have later on, which surprisingly it doesn't, to some degree.
But it's not even about like killing the credibility. It literally would just have killed him at that point. Because I don't know how many people forget about this thing, about like the popularity vote. Because it's always like, well, you get the killer at the end anyway, because everyone figures out the real mystery. But the whole thing about the popularity vote is that it's also kind of like a social standing kind of thing. And if people already don't like you, as is, and there's enough evidence to show that you could potentially be the murderer, are they gonna hear you out? They literally could just be like, oh well, he actually is the murderer. They have their own biases going in, and then there's all the evidence going in as well. And no matter how smart you try to sound or how confident you are, at the end of the day, it is literally just by popular decision. Everyone's going to vote for you, even if you have Kyoko there, the smartest fucking person in the room. Trying to help you. If everyone else already thinks you did it, and there's enough evidence to show that you messed with the body, you most likely would have just gotten everyone killed, and you would have died the most dumbass death possible.
Exactly.
So dumb.
Utterly, he wasted
so
everyone's damn time with that.
No, it was literally at worst. It was just like well, yeah. Now, here's the case. It's now mystified more. And at its worst, he's literally just gonna send everyone to their death, except for the one person that probably wasn't even trying that hard to cover up their crime in the first place.
Exactly. So objectively, he would have got himself killed, except for like Mondo, who did the murder.
He would have gotten everyone killed. And yet the story still tries to portray him as like some sort of like genius.
Which I don't understand. He's just a douchebag first and foremost. He treats everyone like shit. Everyone's beneath him. And then the game still expects me to jerk him off to completion, and I'm like, fuck no. It's like, no, I don't trust this guy. When I first played it, I wish he was dead by the end of like chapter 4. I wish he was dead. At least then I'd be like, good, one less piece off the chess table. Kill the guy who is the most unlikable person here. I know people might like him for his ways, but I feel like No one thought about it for like a moment just to kill Byakuya and cut out the middleman, go down with the ship, unnecessary sacrifice, or all that kind of bullshit. Like, I would have did that if I was in that killing game. He would have been the
Yeah, no.
first to
I
go.
think
Going forward, chapter 3,
Yeah.
in chapter 2.
I know. I think that's the reason why this case gets dragged down a bit, just because of the whole Byakuya shenanigans that happened there. It's just like, what, like, realistically, was he actually expecting anyone to believe him? The answer is no, but the game just kind of forces everyone to believe him anyway, and then we find the real killer. So, other than that, dragging it down, this is a good case. It steps up on everything that the first one already established. So, yeah, B tier.
Of course. Good trial. Good trial. Now,
Alright.
let's begin chapter 3. The title that was so long that I don't
1-3.
remember.
Stand Tall, a new legend galactic hero, I believe is the title of the chapter.
Yes, the most Suda 51 ass title.
Oh yeah. So this is so basically after this whole trial, Asahina is basically crying because she's like, I don't want to do this anymore. She finds a ghost in the locker room after she tries to go get some donuts, and then in the morning, and they go up into their whole like morning meetup thing, and Kiyotaka has clearly been broken because in the second trial, he was basically trying to defend Mondo even though he knew he was guilty. He was being like, y'all are accusing my bro and all this shit, and then he just broke as soon as he realized, oh, Mondo did it, and he's been executed. Kiyotaka is completely broken, but the rest of the gang just decides to move on anyway. They start by exploring the third floor. They find a rec center there. They find the physics lab up there, and they find an art room. In the physics lab, you find the big machine that turns out to be a giant air purifier. That explains why they're even breathing in the first place. In the art room, you just find a bunch of art stuff. And the rec room is just a little recreation room. They have Othello, shogi, and darts, and pool. There. And also, the nurse's office has been open as well on the first floor.
Yes.
Floor as well. And I believe those are all the expansions done to the school. So they do the morning meetup there. They talk about what they find. And fuck me if I remember it. Anything beyond this point. Okay, so can you tell chapter 1-3 is not that great, right, already? But we're
Exactly.
not even part.
Who doesn't really like 1-3 to begin with?
Yeah, I know, right? So after a while, Asahina. Oh yeah, after they're done with the morning meetup, Asahina basically explains why she's acting the way she was, because she didn't show up in the morning meeting. She had like a stomach ache, or that's what she said. And then she shows up in the cafeteria anyway, and she basically says, yeah, I lied because I found this really weird thing. They go check on it. It turns out it's a laptop that Chihiro somehow managed to grab during the time they had gone to the library, and he had modified it to start unencrypting the files that were on that laptop by uploading alter ego, this sort of AI personality that Chihiro had made.
Going by the name
like,
of Alter Ego.
Yes, correct.
My bad.
Yeah. So Kyoko and all of them are just like, well, holy shit, why is this laptop here? And then they realize that the locker room to the bathhouse is the only place that doesn't have a camera in it. So they decide, okay, so this is going to be like our secret hangout spot. This is going to be like our resistance. It's against the mastermind. Because it's the only place where he can't see anything that we're doing. You could literally one-up him here. All we have to do is hide alter ego. But of course, as it turns out, Hifumi is an absolute simp. He literally sees the 2D laptop, and then he just goes, oh my god, ooga ooga. You know what I mean?
He thought he was playing Honey Pop.
And apparently it's like, yeah, exactly. And so it's like during multiple times throughout the chapter, it turns out that Hifumi is constantly like typing to the laptop and just talking to it, and so Kyoko is just like we're making a roll. Kyoko
Yeah.
Which is like, okay, we're making a rule that no one talks to alter ego for unnecessary reasons. We're only gonna talk to them when we absolutely need to.
Oh,
And
and may I interject?
he'll talk.
Oh,
Yeah, sure.
are you
Go
bringing it
ahead.
up? Are you bringing up
Which one?
the
What,
Kiyotaka?
Hirotaka?
Yeah.
Yeah, I was about to bring that up. So
Okay.
anyway, after a while, Hirotaka, you go to your like free day, and then eventually it's like I think after the first free day event that you go through, Hirotaka comes knocking on your door, and he basically says, "Oh, you guys, I can see Chihiro again," and we basically show him the laptop after seeing how completely broken he is. Broken he is. So we take him to see Alter Ego, and Hirotaka basically asks a bunch of questions. He's just like, "Do you think I failed y'all?" and all this stuff because he has extreme. Because he really is depressed. He's just completely broken. He has no idea what to do with himself. He's blaming himself for basically the deaths of Chihiro and Mondo. Yeah. And then Alter Ego basically pulls out another Alter Ego in Mondo, and basically recreates what Mondo would have said to Kiyotaka if he were still alive. And so Kiyotaka eventually evolves into the white-haired Kiyomondo, a very powerful Pokemon indeed.
Pokemon
With plus 10
Ruby or
attack
Sapphire.
and plus 50 speed. Yeah, exactly. He's the shiny version. But yeah, so Kiyomondo is eventually reborn, and I believe after the second free time event, they all go up to meet up Alter Ego, where it turns out that Kiyotaka or Kiyomondo and Hifumi are having this rivalry because on one hand, Hifumi likes the 2D Chihiro, because he's like, it's cute. A little too much. It's cute, it's adorable. I'm a Redditor femboy. It is, wow, a guy wearing a skirt? Such femboy. It's, you know what I mean? And Kiyomondo's like, what are you talking about? My bro's there. Get the fuck off it, you creep.
Exactly.
Yep. And see, Kyoko basically tells Alter Ego, okay, if you see either of these people, just scream from the top of your lungs. Do not let either of these people near you. And she's like, okay, so you know what? I'm gonna ensure that no one touches it because I'm gonna leave my door open to make sure I can hear the scream. Even though that would leave her more open to attack, but she basically gives everyone confidence by saying, oh yeah, try to kill me. Go ahead, try to do it. You won't. Fuck around, find out.
The balls on this woman.
Find out. But I mean, she has some incredibly big balls. Anyway, after that happens, we eventually get to the main chapter portion of it, where just one day, all of a sudden, they're going to their morning meetup, but there's only 4 people there: Nagito, Kyoko, Asahina, and Sakura. And they're all like, okay, what the hell's going on here? It's one thing if Byakuya and Toko haven't shown up because at this point they've stopped going completely. But then Hifumi, Kiyotaka, and Celeste and Hiro also aren't here, but they always show up they show up. So what the hell's going on? So they assume the worst. So they start looking for everyone. First person they find is Celeste, who's in the 3rd floor in the rec room, and apparently she's been attacked by this weird costume assailant that we later find out is called Robo Justice. And Celeste says, oh god, I don't know what happened. He attacked me with that first hammer, and then he dragged Hifumi away. Then we find Hifumi later in the library, and he's been hit by Justice Hammer number 2. So then he's taken away to the nurse's office. And then we get lured back upstairs when Celeste is like, oh yeah, I saw Robo Justice. He was on this floor. And then she screams, and it's like, oh my god, I saw him on the 3rd floor. She's like screams about how he sees him on the 3rd floor. And then eventually Hifumi screams again in the nurse's office, and then we see him, and then we see what happens. He's been murdered in the 3rd office by the 3rd Robo Justice Hammer. The 3rd Justice Hammer. And we're all like, oh my god, what the fuck is going on at this point? And then eventually we go try to get the remaining group, because we had split up into 2 different groups. Agito, Asahina, and Celeste went into the first group, and they found Hifumi. And then the second group, which was Byakuya, Toko, and Sakura, were looking for Robo Justice. And when Agito goes to try to find them, he eventually stumbles into the physics lab, looks into the back door. All of a sudden, bam, Kiyotaka is dead with certainly the Fourth Justice Hammer. And they have no idea what's going on because they're like, at this point, nobody expected a double murder at all that happened at the school, because there's literally the rule is just like, you kill one person, you get to graduate, so why would there be a double murder? No one would have assumed that. And then eventually, after a bit more shenanigans of just looking around for Robo Justice and all that stuff, we find out that not only has Hifumi's body disappeared from the nurse's office, but Kiyotaka's room has also disappeared. So we eventually tried looking for their bodies, and they're both found in the back of the art room, the respiratory, I believe it's called.
Yeah.
And yeah, so we find both of their bodies. We do enough investigation work, and then we headed down into the class trial. And the motive for the murder this time was just $10 million. That's it.
10 quadrillion smackaroonies.
$10 million. Man. Yeah. That's crazy. But anyway, $10 million aside, they go into the class trial, and then it turns out, oh wait a minute, Kiyotaka wasn't murdered by the same person. Kiyotaka's murder and Hifumi's murder were like two completely different incidents, but the way the murder was set up, it made it look like it was one continuous series of events. And then we learned that Hifumi killed Kiyotaka, and then he was an accomplice to the true Blacken of this case, which turned out to be Celeste Lundberg, who basically manipulated Hifumi into killing Kiyotaka, so that way she can kill Hifumi at the end, try to graduate, get the money, and live out her dream of living in a European castle with vampire butlers. And yeah, that's about it.
Which I gotta say it's a crazy ass trial when that happened. The double murder, Robo Justice, finding out who was this mysterious assailant. But as the trial went on, you could tell, the trial and the case overall, even before that, you could tell how it didn't make sense. How it just felt unnatural, especially with someone like Celeste, who in the trial and outside of it started to seem unnatural from her usual self, started to be more lively, more willing, compliant than her usual before in the previous two chapters, where she was just kind of like, yeah, this is a game, I'm here to survive like Byakuya. Which honestly, in my opinion, really kind of showed her true intentions. For the person who knows as the ultimate gambler, for a person who has a good poker face, she couldn't even hide her own words behind it, even stumbling upon her own words, mentioning in the nurse's office where Hifumi was found dead, allegedly dead for the first time. She mentions that they'll be killed just like them. Them? Who else has died? At that point, we didn't know that Ishimura was already dead. At that point, all we know is that Hifumi was the first body on the slab.
Those guys.
Exactly. And as the trial went on, Naegi and them started to unveil the cracks and started to peel away her true identity. It was like Taka Ishida or something?
Ishida? What the hell are you talking about? Ishimura?
Her real name.
Oh yeah. Sahiro Takeo?
Yeah, well, I guess.
I think that's what it was.
We'll just leave her as our fake name, Celeste, just for easier clarity. But after the whole trial and point, we revealed herself. She's finally revealed her true nature of being very, I guess, psychotic. She's yelling at people. Her once composed and calm nature is now belligerent, almost not angry, furious, feral. Broke down at the fact that it was so easy to commit these two murders, to orchestrate this whole crime while just sitting from the back lines. And she thought she could have got away with it too, if it wasn't just for a few sentencings. And the fact that Robo Justice itself, the whole costume is very inoperable. You can't move much in it. You're pretty much stiff in the damn thing. My personal question with the trial is, how did she coerce him As Hifumi being complete 2D over 3D, I wonder how, besides which is like alter ego, how did she truly convince this guy? You know, since
It
he's
literally was just because of it's. It was a combination of both the fact that Alter Ego was kidnapped and the fact that she used like the whole love triangle situation to the advantage because she was just basically like, all right, so yeah, Kiyotaka basically kidnapped Alter Ego and is gonna try to kill somebody to escape with Alter Ego so he can live out the rest of her life. And Hifumi was really getting pissed, and then she put the little cherry on top by basically saying, oh yeah, he also assaulted me to me as well and forced me to do things and that sent Hifumi over the edge, and eventually she just used that blind rage against him.
played him like a damn fiddle, and then when he outlived his usefulness, she killed him.
Like you with me once I say I don't want to co-host anymore.
Well, yeah. How'd you know? It was on the plan actually. It's on the
Oh, well.
bucket list.
Well, hey, look, hey, listen, YouTube support at Twitter. I like to report a situation real quick.
No, don't you go to YouTube. Okay, one, YouTube ain't gonna save you because hell, they don't give a shit about their content creators, let alone some jobber on the internet along with me. Unless you're gonna add them on Twitter. If you add them on Twitter, then they'll probably care. Probably.
I'll just ask Mr. Beast to do it for me.
Mr.
We're
B.
good friends.
Mr. Beast is gonna give you like a whole ass lawyer.
Whole ass SWAT army to protect me from you.
But going with chapter 3, the motive was honestly dumb. I guess money is everything, I guess in some cases, but in terms of in an academy where money will prove to have no value and whatever's going on in the outside world will probably not even have value either there as well. So to kill someone for just a lotto ticket is pretty much meaningless. At least the secrets was worth something, because you have things that you don't want no one to know, things you're probably not proud of, things you wish you could keep in the closet. But for something as so trivial as just currency, and you kill 2 people for it, it shows how shallow you are, how vain it is. I get that her backstory delves in to how, you know, she would gamble everything, including the clothes off her back, to win, and she just wants to have that dream. But at the end, she made her choice, and she has died for it. I feel like that this murder was not necessary, but to me, it works in a double entendre kind of way. A little bit of case 4 and a little bit of case 3, double murder, and case 4 for the killing anyone who would make it to endgame anyway, like Hifumi and Ishimura. Hifumi, the 300-pound redditor who makes dojins, yeah, I won't see him in endgame. Ishimura, who was already going Ultra Instinct at the time, after being motivated by low tier god. Like, your life is everything. You should motivate yourself now.
God.
If I were to say if anyone could have survived longer, it should have been Ishimura. If he would have lived to chapter 4, I would have believed that he could have been that could have been his final resting place. Just because he was finally getting character after the whole depression.
And then they killed him off.
Yes. But what should we rank this chapter? I say it's a low B. What do you think?
I'm gonna rank this low C, probably a D tier.
D tier?
E tier or C tier, one of those two, because it's definitely not a B tier, not even close.
I said low B, so it wasn't exactly praising it to the high winds.
I think there's just a lot that drags this case down. Like, the first thing is the fact that Celeste is the ultimate gambler, and she's supposed to be, like, having this poker face and all this stuff, and she constantly brags about it. But then, in the actual case where she's the fucking murderer, and you think being the most being your usual self, and being calm and not reacting to the situation. You know, like, if she had acted, like, as nonchalantly as she was the other cases, then, I think she would have had a little less believable with the whole thing.
Yeah.
But the way she just acted throughout the entire case, you literally immediately could tell, okay, something's up. Something's up with this bitch already. And then it turns out she's the killer, and you're just like, oh god. Oh
Of course.
goddamn. I saw this coming from like 20 miles away. I don't even read books and I could have seen this coming.
The character
If the
who
psycho,
acted least
if
sus
like the
was
whole,
most sus.
like here's the thing. If the psycho twist was already a thing I saw coming from a mile away, did you really think, I don't know why the game would think I'd be fooled by the fact that, and oh, Celeste was the killer. Wow, well, who could have seen that coming? Other than the fact that she literally made herself the most suspicious person immediately, because no one else sees Robot Justice except her and Hifumi, and then Hifumi dies, and she's the only one who sees Robot Justice. Because there's already a lot of discredit towards her, and then she acting, and all of a sudden it's like, oh, I have this plethora of emotions all suddenly all at once, and I suddenly care about this whole entire thing. Man, this is totally coming out of nowhere, and I'm definitely not being suspicious at all, and I definitely haven't done anything weird, so you can't suspect me because I have an alibi and all that stuff.
Exactly.
So yeah.
It's like the more she tried to be less sus, she became more of a target.
Exactly. Literally, the game just kept picking her, kept pointing around and being like, "This is your killer. This is your killer. This is your killer. She's the one who did it. She's the bad guy in this case."
And the toss in the fact that she wasn't herself a victim. She was assaulted, but yet Hifumi and Ishimura were murdered outright. Why? Like,
yeah, that's weird. Especially considering that the whole mass assailant thing, it's just like, well, they could have just killed her, but they didn't.
Exactly.
They just left her alive, and somehow she has a photo. There's a photo that looks so conveniently close to the both of them. Then it was like, well, even if she wasn't the killer, why would the person in the Robot Justice costume do it anyway? And like the entire case already solves itself because every mystery already solved. It's like, okay, who was in the Robot Justice costume? Oh, it was Yasuhiro. Well, okay, then he's the killer. Wait, no, he can't be the killer because A, the costume's impractical, and B, he can't even get rid of it. So someone clearly built it for him, and then you find the blueprints, and it's not in the same handwriting as Yasuhiro, and everyone knows this. It's like, okay, so then who was the one who built Robot Justice? Oh, it was Hifumi, because obviously he's the only person that would have done.
That would know
he's the only person
shit.
who would have done this. Yeah. And then this the whole thing is like, okay, so who planned out this entire murder? And it's like, okay, so who's the only person alive who was acting completely suspicious and out of character? Oh, it was Celeste. Oh, okay. Okay. Literally the entire case was solved. You even find the murder weapon that was used on Hifumi in the same place because it's literally just the hammer that was washed.
Exactly.
So every aspect of the case is solved. The only mysterious part of the case is the one that gets glossed over in the grand scheme of things, and that was Kiyotaku's murder.
Yeah, I kind of thought they really just
the only reason
screw his murder over.
Yeah, they literally just like, oh yeah, he got bonked on the hammer, he died, he got moved into the repository. Anyway, rip that bozo. What about Hifumi?
It's like yeah, Ishimura, the guy who had a whole arc the last chapter, and the one at the end of 2, yeah, just fuck that guy. He's dead. Didn't matter.
He's fucking dead. It is so fucking.
Didn't matter.
A while.
Pack
they
watch.
It over. I mean, it was like his murder was pretty simple. He was killed by the Justice Hammer 4, and then he was just moved to the respiratory. So it's literally just you have a simple mystery just hide in there with the stuff that's already been solved. And so when you go into that trial and you're basically looking for it, you're basically doing it, and you're going into the stop debate questions and all that stuff. It's just like, oh god, just get this over with already. I already know who did it. I already know what's happening here. I do not need this to be spelled out to me, game.
Which unfortunately began the case 3 syndrome, the double murder and the unnecessary longevity of the case. But we'll get to that, I promise.
That's the other thing about this case. This one's longer than the other two cases. Like the other two cases, I can give at least this. At least they had like decent time going into it, but they never like overstretched themselves. It was pretty easy. Yeah, they were mostly fast-paced and all that stuff. This one's so much slower. Or because it feels like more times than not, they're just kind of repeating the same things they've already said. I mean, for Christ's sake, there's literally just a section where they just recap everything that's happened at the beginning of the Deadly Life section, which wouldn't even be a problem on its own, except for the fact that during your investigation, if you talk to Sakura, she will literally do the same thing to you.
Which drives me
in that
freaking
case
crazy.
Oh, it just feels like everything's being repeated. Everything's so obvious, and by the end of it, I was just like, thank God it's over, because it's so fucking long for no reason, because it just repeats itself way too much for what I like.
Yeah.
What's the other thing? I don't really care. And so here's the other thing. I don't really care for any of the characters that were majorly involved in this case either. Like, I didn't really care about Kiyotaka. Like, I like Kiyotaka a bit more than most people, but that's only because I'm the only person here who's actually like done every single character interaction in the games. So I at least know a bit more about Kiyotaka, and so I liked him a bit more, but I'm not gonna say I'm like the #1 fan, or I'm gonna be like, oh, Kiyotaka was misunderstood this entire time. No, it really wasn't. I don't care. I don't like Hifumi that much either, to be honest. And in Celeste, I'm like, about the Black and it's just like a general character. I'm not nearly as interested in her, or as much as other people are. I don't think she's not as interesting as people would like to make her out to be. The good thing about Celeste is that she has a decent skill in raise if you get enough into her friendship. It basically gives you 3 mono coins every time you look around the area. That's only if you're like me, you just look around every area to get every coin.
Which comes in handy, definitely.
But like other than that, I'm not really the biggest fan of Celeste either. I got to her. Oh yeah, by the way, on my playthrough, and when I finished this chapter, I had gotten the star for Celeste, which basically means that you finished every interaction that you possibly can with that character.
Mm-hmm.
I got to her. I'm not really the biggest fan of how it kind of ends. It's just like her basically saying, "Oh, you're a C rank person now. You're not a D rank. You're not a fucking loser anymore. You're a C. I'm somewhat interested in you." And that's kind of the end. And it feels like it's more of like a joke ending to it, more than anything I'm supposed to take serious.
I agree.
I've
never been much of a Celeste person
character.
Like,
I'm just like, she's fine, but like, not the interesting character of Danganronpa. She's not the best character in the first game. Not the best Black End. She's probably the worst Black End, to be honest, out of all these.
Yeah.
I don't know. Case 3 is probably the weakest one in the entire series, and it doesn't really get any much. And it gets only worse or better from here, ladies and gentlemen, depending on how you see it.
So let's say let's throw
maybe
it
I'll put
in D.
Maybe. I think that's actually where it's going. Now that I think about it more. I don't know. I feel like D is like the point where it's just the case completely infuriates me, annoys me somewhat. You know what? Actually, no. Maybe that is right. Maybe it should be in D after all, because it's not that strong of a case. The 3 people that are involved, I'm not really interested in. It's too damn repetitive. It's too damn long, and it definitely just feels like the filler case where they're just at this point. They just were like, we need to get rid of some characters to make this feel more intense once we get to like the end game.
Yeah.
'Cause it's pretty soon after this. There's like only one more death of like the main cast, and then you just face off against the main antagonist.
Which is crazy.
It is crazy considering how. Well, actually, no. The second game technically still has like one less survivor than the first game, and then the third game. Ooh boy.
Shy, don't mention the third game. Oh my god.
Yeah. Spoiler. Guess what game Kuma doesn't like.
Oh yeah, don't say that. I love the game. I just don't like the ending. I somewhat don't like the ending.
He hates the entire game. He despises that ending, but we're gonna get to that. We're gonna get to that. Don't worry.
All
Don't
right.
worry, Chad. It'll be fun.
Chapter 4. Well, shit. The All-Star Apology. Oh,
You
man.
summarize it this time.
Fine. After the deaths of Celestia von Ludenberg, Hifumi, and Ishimura, a new area of the school has been opened up. Was it? Shit. A new area of the school is opened up, and that was like what, the last? You see, I should actually play this chapter. I should have.
Why did you?
You see, I came
Why
out.
did you prepare for this entire list? That's that fan man. Why didn't you do that? Oh my god, you were supposed to do your homework and all the shit. Blah blah blah. Meanwhile, this man here.
You see. I know. I'm so good at it. I'm so strong. You know. You see, it's all for the fun.
Such a Giga Chad.
Please don't rely on me for any other videos beyond this. But oh god, the whole point is they have a new area they explore on the 4th floor of the Hope Academy. You have the music room. You got the doorway to the headmaster's office, but it's currently locked, which sparked a lot of mystery because, no, what's the hell behind the door? Could the mastermind be vibing in there? You have some of the offices that goes to the chem labs, which is even cooler. A chem lab, which will totally not be used in murder later, which has various amounts of poisons, sedatives, additives, supplements, fucking protein for some reason, but okay.
Coco, we have to cook. We have to cook now.
Yeah. It's like, oh, Breaking Bad. But I guess in my summation,
Kuma is expecting the delivery by tonight.
Like, hello, welcome to the Kaskipo Kuma Foundry. My name is Cryo, but you may call me Cry, or Cum for short. But
Come.
in my okay, let's be honest. In my summary of this is a very heavily focused chapter between the ultimate martial artist known as Sakura Ogami, or known as the Ogre, and the ultimate swimmer known as Aoi Asahina, or Donut Girl if you have seen her on Twitter. This is a very heavy topic in this chapter because it involves suicide of all things, and a compelling murder to boot. Well, I guess the mystery behind the murder.
Yeah.
And about this trial, we get stuck with the truth that Monokuma has revealed that Sakura is a traitor among them, that he's been working with Monokuma this entire time, and that sows discourse among everybody. Because previously in the last chapter, Makoto has saw Sakura and Monokuma fighting in the gym. For whatever reason, we don't know it at that time. But in this chapter, Monokuma made it widely known that Sakura is a traitor to them, and was planning to kill one of them as a condition. But the conditions we don't know, but she was meant to kill one of them. This sows discourse among Higakure, the man who was using as a suspect in the last trial, thinking that she's gonna murder somebody. Toko Fukawa, who's always is always her being her schizo self, and Byaka Togami, who's always is an asshole. And Sakura is trying everything in this case to prove to them that she's not a traitor, that she wasn't meant to do it, and it was all for a purpose behind it. As the series goes, she has sent a letter to all 3 of them, telling them to go be in the rec room so they could talk personally and discuss things peacefully. But as it turns out, that didn't work as well. Sometime later, Sakura ended up dead in a room. We don't know how she died. The room was locked from the inside, and we don't know how it happened. They tried to break in. They tried to open it, but it's locked. They broke in the door and then realized that the chair was blocking the door. So now we got an interesting murder here, a closed room murder. And that's the team, or the remaining people, discovering and looking for things such as broken bottles, blood, Sakura's protein cup, some shakes, spilled things in the chem lab and everything around it. And it turns out that this case wasn't a murder. It was an aforementioned suicide. Sakura has taken her own life, and people believe, well, mainly Asahina at this time of the trial, believe that she killed herself to make everyone else suffer and die a horrible death. Which is not good in my case, but believe rock with your rock out, I suppose. And the only people who were suspects were the aforementioned 3 people who accused her, and now it's Hagakure, Togami, and Toko. But they all disproven their dispositions. Hagakure was there. He was afraid and he cracked her in the head with a bottle. Toko was there, but passed out, but then woke up to her alt account, cracked her in the head with a bottle, and Togami didn't even bother showing up, so they all cleared their names. So soon after they stood their ground and proved to them that they were not the murderers, Asahina, the ultimate swimmer and the ogre, Sakura's best friend, changed the trial to be proven that she was the murderer, that she killed Sakura in cold blood, that she changed her protein shake to be poison. But as Kyoko and Makoto, who are at the time are still on decent terms, disproving that, saying that
Dating.
not dating, who were on decent terms at the time, disproving that, saying that, okay, look at the protein cup. Why is it on the glass instead of under the glass? It seemed like it was planted, and then it can't be. And it's not your shoes, and not your shoe mark in that protein spill in the chem lab. Cause you're wearing tracks. Sakura's wearing regular ass, school uniform shoes. So it was quickly disproven that she didn't kill her. And the truth behold, again, Sakura has taken her own life. And after that trial, Monokuma read her alleged, well, not Monokuma, I'm getting a little ahead of myself. Asahina grabbed her suicide note from Sakura and mentioned that, it was their fault that she died and she had to kill herself. And that's why she harbored so much hatred and disposition towards them. But Monokuma was like, yeah, nah, they ain't real, chief. I got the real testaments right here. And read it in the best Sakura pressure voice that he could read it in. And saying that Sakura, realizing that there was no way for her to change people's minds, she had to, she wished she could, but she couldn't. She still believes that everyone can still be friends and still not harbor hatred towards her and what she had to do. And hoping that everyone can still survive and get the mastermind, the usual Danganronpa hope shit. Asahina looking like a complete jackass, realizing that, oh damn, I guess it wasn't like that. Monokuma just so in despair, and the motive of that one was obviously the traitor motive. Now, granted, I don't know what was Chapter 4's real motive if he didn't have to pull the Sakura card, which honestly I'm quite interested to know what was the murder for that trial. But that's neither here or there. The whole point is, Sakura had to do it. And the real reason behind is that her dojo was being held captive. Her dojo, her people, and the guy she liked were being held hostage by Monokuma. So she had to play the role of stooge and scapegoat. Under the conditions that no one murders anyone within the first 2 to 3 days, that she would have to play murderer, kill somebody, and be, whether executed or be set free, all for her people's sake. So she wasn't just a traitor just for the lols. But I'm not done yet. But since it was a suicide and not an actual murder, no one got put on execution. Well, I wouldn't say everyone. The laptop from Chapter 3, known as Alter Ego, was put there. Monokuma apparently sniffed it out and realized that, hey, who's hacking my shit? So Alter Ego got turned into a little ball via construction machine and was utterly destroyed, thus robbing anyone of any potential data and the truth about the real world, what's going on and what happened in Host Peak. They lost their only lead to uncovering the mystery and the mastermind behind this. Now they're down one friend and down any possible leads. They're back at square one in terms of not knowing the mystery behind it. And I think that's it. Did I miss anything?
Okay. So basically what you're saying is that Sakura low-tier gods herself. tier god herself, and then Asahina basically tried to low tier god everyone.
Yes.
Everyone, and then Monokuma was just like, no, don't be stupid. Yeah, so basically that was it. Sakura was the traitor, and that was the whole dangly keys thing, because Monokuma knew that as soon as he revealed that Sakura was a traitor, there was going to be fear and mistrust being sown to everyone, and Sakura was going to be the easy target, and Sakura didn't want that, so she basically killed herself so that way the remaining survivors at this point could trust each other again, and they didn't have to do. And she didn't want them to like kill each other. She wanted them to defeat the mastermind, because she felt even she, the strongest person at that point, was just another victim in this entire thing. So she basically tried to give them hope by basically killing herself and sacrificing herself honorably, instead of forcing another student to kill her and taking them down with her. Which was basically a defiant movement against the mastermind, basically saying you are not going to control me at the end. And yeah, it's a really great case. It's probably my favorite case in the entire first game, to be honest. Because I love Sakura. She's one of my favorite characters. But I'm gonna get off topic a bit here. But I do remember that original video that you. But do you remember your original opinion of this video? Of this trial?
I actually don't remember it. Like, it's been a year since I ever walked back to that video. But didn't I hate that trial?
You want to watch that video to get the specific reason why?
No, God,
or do you want
no.
me to painfully remind you?
You might as well just painfully. I'd rather have you tell me. It doesn't hurt as bad.
Alright, so basically, you didn't like this trial because of one specific reason. You're basically like, I fucking hate Aoi Asahina in this chapter. She's being basically the dumbest bitch ever. She was being so fucking retarded. I fucking hated her character here. God, I wish she was the one that killed us, so that way I didn't have to deal with her fucking dumbass any longer.
Okay.
And this trial is the worst. I'm putting it in C tier.
Okay, I don't think I was that increasingly vulgar. To start, I was vulgar to a certain extent. But I don't think I was that hard on it. I think I did call out Asahina for being...
Maybe you should watch...
Like,
you should watch that video. Maybe you'll know.
I just don't want to watch it. I'll take your word for it. I was being a complete jackass with it, okay? I was being tactless. But coming back to it now, with you here, I can understand it's a really great trial, and it was really hardening. At first, I just swept it under the rug as this was needlessly tedious. Because that's how I put it as. It was just unnecessary for unnecessary sake. She was trying to kill everybody and then blame everyone, saying that Sakura died because of it. And I was like, bro, it's not that deep. You just can't kill everyone because your friend died. You still got like 2 other people here who are still your friend. I get it that was your friend, and there was probably some undertoning romance from what the fandom keeps saying, but that's neither here or there. I get it. You will do anything to avenge your friend, even if you don't know the true context of the murder. To be honest, after covering it again, I personally, it's one of my favorites. It was honestly heartbreaking to have her be in all the stages of sadness and anger and rage to the other 3 people who honestly, frankly, couldn't give a shit. One couldn't give a shit. One was afraid, and Toko was Toko, being a schizo. So it's just kind of like, I understand where her rage was coming from.
And fun, infuriating fact about Mr. Kuma himself here, he's the kind of person who just disassociates himself from any piece of media whatsoever. He will not feel a single emotion about a thing, and if he can't understand the emotion of it, he will just call it dumb, pretentious, and then just say, it was dumb. I didn't like this. Show sucks, not my fault. It's really fun.
Not necessarily. I'm not like that all the time. As I mentioned earlier in the stream, I mentioned earlier in the stream that, I put myself in that same spot. And as that video that was like 2 years ago, I was not putting myself in that same position. I was just seeing it from, okay, I played this game, so therefore I must give it a thought on it. I didn't like it, move on. But now talking to you about it and actually remembering the steps, remembering how it all went down and the characters in the moment, I'm actually putting myself in that exact same thought process as I played it years ago. It's like, yeah, I remember how this went. I remember how painful it was to sit through this trial. How hurt I was after this. Hell, I stopped playing the game after after the trial was finished. I literally just cut away from it for like a week just to recuperate on what the hell just happened.
Oh man. Asahina is a dumb bitch, and I didn't like her, and all her actions were stupid and dumb. Bad game, bad case, a D tier.
The whole point is the video was old, and I'm a new person because of that. People get changed.
I've grown and changed as a person ever since then. I've made
well,
a
my
severe
opinion has
lapse
changed
in
since
my
then.
judgment.
And Asahina was a good character. At first, I read her off as dark-skinned tomboy, big titty, which I like. But as the chapter put her in the limelight, she became a lot more deep. She cares for her friend. She was willing to take everyone down for her friend. She was trying to blame 3 people who had nothing to do with her murder for the murder, and when that failed, she was gonna go on a suicide pact, take everyone down. I hated that part at first because it was just like, you're fighting so hard for nothing. Because I
don't get it.
No, it was my glass was half full kind of deal. Glass half empty, glass half empty. It didn't matter anyway. She was dead, we're still alive, let's keep going. You know? I will admit that. I was always just kind of I was always dissociating when I was playing Danganronpa, but in those few moments I truly felt pain. What it was like to lose somebody that mattered to you the most. And the people there who you don't know the true context of what happened, you can feel like that's the only thing that comes to the conclusion that they did it. I don't think any other rational person would not be the same way if the only 3 people who knew of her death were the only 3 people who knew it. You don't know shit. Like you and me. Well, like if you ended up dead and I don't know how you ended up dead, I will start lashing out towards people who last saw you. You know? If you was like the same way as Sakura.
Oh my god.
But to put all the cringe aside, it was definitely a good trial. It was worth the playtime. It was worth the investment. It was sad to see Sakura go, but as I mentioned, this is the case 4 issue of killing off anyone who wouldn't make sense anyway, or killing off all the least ridiculous characters. And unfortunately, Sakura and Alter Ego had to go. I don't make the rules.
You do.
I do.
You basically wrote this entire game.
Hey, if I could, I wish.
I'll make 20 more Danganronpas afterwards until he undermined it. No, we're not getting into that. Not yet.
Not yet. But what would you put this
Never.
chapter anyway? I would say A.
I put it in A.
Boom, yeah. A. The first A.
Oh yeah.
Alright. I think it belongs there because it's a good trial. It was worth the time. It was definitely worth the emotional investment. I personally don't think there was any problems with it. Now, not old video me, but now me.
Now me. No, you know what's funny? I just pulled up the video
Oh god.
just to see that just to see the rankings, just because I was like, oh man. I wanted to remember what what your thoughts were on the project, on like the case. Apparently, even though you talk shit about it, you still put it in the same fucking. You still put it in the same fucking tier.
Really?
That's crazy. Yeah, it's in A in your original video.
I was smoking crack or something.
Man, I don't know what the hell. I don't even remember what the hell the reasoning was why you put it in A. Because all I remember is just the absolute spite, just the absolute hatred that you had for Asahina as a character. And I was like, okay, so it's gonna be lower, and then it's an A, and I was just like, oh, that's fucking wild.
Huh. I guess even while I was still shitting on it, I still gave it a good score. I'm a true IGN gamer. I mean reviewer.
Game too hard, 9 out of 10.
I'm the Cuphead. I'm the Cuphead reviewer. Can't get past the tutorial.
Oh my.
Tutorials suck. Game is
Oh
mid.
yeah.
Still a 2 out of 10. I mean, a 10 out of 10.
Game bad. Game
Like,
bad.
skill
not my
issue.
fault.
Game is peak.
Man, I have no idea how long this stream is gonna go for, but if it doesn't go longer than the first game, then I'm just gonna announce what you put for each of the trial times where you put them in your original video
Mm-hmm.
and compare them to the new one.
Oh.
One at the end.
Oh,
Yeah, 'cause
no.
that would be fun.
That'd be fun. So
It'd be
far,
fun
we've been
to see
we've
how
been live for about an hour and 54 minutes.
Oh my god, it's been nearly a 2-hour stream. We're only gonna fit. Oh my god. We're never gonna finish. We need to.
I
we,
mean,
we
I
need to
was
speed things up. Oh shit.
I wanted to make the unanimous decision just to get halfway to 2 and then take a break. But I'm all for finishing it. I'm no bitch, but I know you got shit to do, so like I'm trying to accommodate for you.
Well, I am a bitch, so I think we just finish the first game and then we'll just take a break and then we'll probably either do this tomorrow for like the second game because it feels weird if we just finish the first game and then we just start halfway through the second one and then we're just like, all right, time to cut a break in, folks.
All right.
Folks.
All right. Now,
Yeah.
Chapter 5. The 100-mile dash for the junk food junkie.
Yeah.
You got this one? You remember it?
You're the one who's supposed to summarize it. We're switching.
What? I already did.
Oh wait, I'm the one that's supposed to be this time. I
Exactly.
completely forgot.
Like, I did 4.
I was trying to gaslight you. I tried to completely gaslight you into doing my job. Oh shit. This is a great co-host. Chapter 5. So after after Sakura's suicide and everything like that, everyone has resolved together to fight against the mastermind this time. And now even Byakuya and Toko are basically behind the entire thing. They're just like, okay, you know what? I'm gonna fuck with this whole power of friendship kind of deal.
Mm-hmm.
But then the final floor of Hope's Peak Academy is opened up, the 5th floor, and it is the tallest floor yet because it's like the roof and all that stuff. It's just way higher and all that stuff, so there's more desolate feeling. And there we find a lot of important stuff. We find the garden. First we find the garden where we find out how they're getting their food sources from. Second we find a classroom that shows a picture or something like that. I can't remember what the fuck it was. But it was something very major important because as the game has been going on, there's just been smaller clues that have been hinting towards the bigger picture of what's happening in the first game and how they even ended up in the scenario.
Mm-hmm.
So like in case 2, there was a picture. I think there was a picture anyway, or maybe that was chapter 3, where there was a picture of Mondo, Leon, and Chihiro all hanging out, and like the windows were open. They were all happy and smiling with each other. And then I think chapter 4, or there was another picture where it was showing Celeste, Hifumi, and I think Sayaka.
Yeah, it was Sayaka.
They are all hanging. Yeah, they're all hanging out as well in the same place. They're all just wondering what the hell's going on. So there's a very major important reveal going on in this chapter as well, which I can't remember off the top of my head what it was, but it was something very important. And then this is also the floor where we learn there's also like an archery range on this floor. And then the biggest thing of all, we learn where all the bodies of the students who have died at this point are being held at. They were being held in the 5th floor in this morgue-like area. That was like the science place. And whatever. And so everyone's body is there. But then a giant thing has been shown where it's just like, okay, hold on. Why is it despite the fact that there's like there's only 15 of us in the school, why are there 16 body lockers here? That's weird. Whatever. They all decide they could start searching for clues more and more. Clues to find out how to get out of the school or how to fight the mastermind finally. And I think at some point he eventually just goes out of decommission because Kyoko is starting to get closer to the truth. Because at the same time as we're finding the clues to what's happening in the school, Kyoko has been working on that bigger mystery. You know, she's been using alter ego. She's been looking at everything that's been going on, all the clues that have been showing what's happening with Hope's Peak, and she's been solving them. Because I believe at the end of chapter 3, she shows Nagito but it's the secret of the closet in the boys' bathroom, 2nd floor.
Mm-hmm.
Or so that's a The thing. So she's been getting dangerously close to the truth. So the mastermind, becoming more and more desperate, essentially goes ahead and tries to kill off Nagito and Kyoko by murdering seemingly just another random person that they have no idea about, because when they try to investigate the body, it's just blown up. It's completely on fire. So they investigate the entire thing as best they can without even knowing who the identity is. And then they go into the class trial, where it turns out this entire thing is basically just one giant ruse by the mastermind to kill off either thorn of his side, which is either Nagito or Kyoko, because it's been proven that these two have clearly just been leading the charge the entire time, because Kyoko has been solving the bigger mysteries, and Nagito has been the one that's getting everyone out of these trials alive. Like, he's been pointing out who the Black Ant is and all that stuff. So the mastermind is literally just like, at this point, it's like, okay, either I have to get rid of Kyoko, so that way nobody else has a chance of solving this big mystery, or I get rid of Nagito, and then I can just hopefully another student will just kill and everyone will die. Because who the fuck else are they gonna believe? Fucking Toko? She's a serial killer and she sucks. So,
Yeah.
Well, there's that. And so eventually you get to the point of the trial where you're declared the Black Ant, and then they try to kill you, but then Alter Ego takes over. It's like, I got you, fam, and then you get thrown into the trash. And that's the end of that chapter.
Yeah. I'll have to add
Oh, yeah, and also at the end of chapter 4,
Mm-hmm.
at the end of chapter 4, Kyoko basically gives you a warning by saying, oh yeah, by the way, watch out for Mukuro Ikusaba. She's apparently the ultimate despair, and she's the one that we have to watch out for the most and all that stuff. And then it turns out the person that was killed was Mukuro Ikusaba the entire time.
The fucking meme. Mukuro Ikusaba, the 16th student, is hidden somewhere in the school. I gotta say, chapter 5 was a good trial. And to add context with it, why Kyoko's been MIA the entire time. Well, I mean, you already added the context, but the one thing you forgot to mention was the fact that during this time, Kyoko and Makoto have not been on good terms ever since Sakura's trial. Saying, because Kyoko believed that Makoto didn't trust her enough to tell her that Sakura was a traitor, so there was a rift between them. They've been Kyoko's been giving him the cold shoulder this entire time, and practically without her to kind of give him a little leg on some of these things, he had to wing it practically. But they came around at the end of it. And I will add on to this trial, this is the only one out of the 3 main lines that has a definitive bad ending. Because in the trial you have a choice to let the lie slide or pursue it. If you pursue the lie, you will convict Kyoko and she will get her own execution. And once that happens, Monokuma will just simply let everyone live peacefully in school. And then this shows a still image of...
It wasn't even that, it was just...
Yeah, it was just... She's dead and there was no more murders. There was no more killing game. They lived pretty much peacefully.
A pseudo piece where Asahina became the mom of everyone's kid, and Toko just died off screen.
Which
is great.
Which is not explain why. I'm not gonna lie, it was kind of dystopian looking at it for the first time, where I didn't let the lie slide and pursue it. I was like, what is this? Is this actually the game? When did Asahina become the dead mother? Why did Toko kill herself? Why?
She loved your god.
Which is kind of...
It's just funny.
It's like Toko killed herself and she
what the
became dead mother.
explanation was. Was it even she killed herself? I don't even remember they said that. I literally just remember they were just like, oh yeah, Asahina, we all had kids, and Toko
No, they didn't say that. They just said that. It's like we live...
I don't even think they acknowledged it.
No, they just said it. Like, we live peacefully in the school.
Toko's dead.
I remember it. They like...
We live peacefully in this...
We live peacefully in this academy now. You know, nothing bad happened. There was no more murders. I wish I could have gone back and made a different choice because it was a bad mistake. It wasn't the good choice. Like, Asahina's the dead mother of like 3 kids. Toko was just dead without a second thought. And everyone's just happy.
Oh, yes.
And apparently Monokuma just fucked off.
I don't...
And just like, whatever.
Yeah, no, literally they just don't explain why Toko's dead. They're just like, oh yeah, she's just died died along the way.
I'm assuming she
And it's
died
like,
because
oh,
Tio.
base.
I think she killed herself because Togami ended up with Asahina, and she just went off the edge with that.
Well, everyone ended up with Asahina technically, but still.
This is like a very kind of weird ending to just have. It's just like, what? You guys just decided to shack up with Asahina? Was she that easy? And why did Toko kill herself?
Everyone literally just.
Like, fuck it. Asahina's kind
Literally,
of fire.
everyone just decided, okay, you know what? No more killing. No more killing game. Asahina too hot.
Like, this is the killing
that's
game
it.
anymore. This is the love making game. Who else the weakest pull out game?
Love making game. Who can make the most children?
Exactly. who could keep their bloodline going? But besides the bad ending,
Generation of those kids.
oh yeah. Besides that bad ending, it was relatively a good trial. To me, honestly, it was short. It was like, I think this is the shortest trial out of the 3 mainline games. This is like, it just felt like we just.
Shortest?
Yeah, it
Did you
felt.
say shortest? Case 1-1?
No, I think this trial in particular was short. Like 1-1, understandably has its
comparative-
length, but this is like, we get thrown into the murder. We don't know who's the body in the morgue, and it's just like we don't even really investigate the body or really anything about it, and it's just like, oh, Makoto, you did it, you killed him, because why not? And it's just, oh,
It was either you or Kyoko. And the waifu can't do it. It's just impossible. So it clearly was you. It's
the
like,
main character. Yeah, to me, it just felt like it was over before it really started. We didn't really dive deep into the murder. A lot of things didn't really go with it.
Because the whole thing about this is that this is set up for like the second half where we get to the last chapter. So there's just like they're tiptoeing between like, okay, so how much can we say and how much can we not say in this one trial?
Yeah, it's just kind of like, oh, okay, that's it. Well, I guess we'll just move on. It feels kind of surreal in a way. It just feels that was it. After all of that, that was kind of it.
Yeah, that was. It was short. It was sweet. It was simple, but it still opens up a lot of mysteries. Mysteries about like just what the fuck is going on now. If even like the mastermind at this point is like trying to rig this trial because Kyoko's apparently getting too close to the truth at this point. So that means we're now getting into the end game.
Exactly.
Which is good.
Which is damn good. I love the execution.
It's a very good transition between.
Hmm?
Execution. Was there one in this one? Oh yeah, this is the Crusher one.
Yes. I know we haven't mentioned it in the previous trials, but I love how the executions are in this franchise. I love how really creative they are. First trial, the baseball pelting, which is really cool, and a lot of balls jokes with that one. It's like, yeah, you sure do love balls.
Like every human on planet Earth when they see that execution, they're not thinking, "Oh man, this is so horrifying." My God, and I wouldn't want to be in this situation. Though they're thinking, "Haha, Liam Kawada's eating a lot of balls right now."
get balls in his mouth. I'm sorry. I know like he's dying. I know he's dying a horrible death, but like it's funny at some points, okay? But and then you have Mondo, which was the bike turned butter, which honestly, out of all the executions, barring the second game, just felt ridiculous. Mondo butter, man got like liquefied in the fucking butter and put on pancakes. That shit was wild.
Yeah.
Especially in the anime where they actually showed Monokuma with like a stack of pancakes with his butter on it. I'm like, this is some fucked up shit, but I respect it. Like, and then you had the third trial, which had Celeste being hit with that fucking fire truck. Which honestly, that one was more symbolic because Celeste always
symbiotic.
Yeah, it was symbolic. I meant to say because she thought she'd get her own execution. Hell, she was smiling when she was lit on fire. She thought she was gonna get this whole grandstand, and here comes Monokuma just smacking her with a fucking fire truck.
The car
robbed her of her own like glamorous death, and Alter Ego got fucking pulverized by that excavator. Holy shit!
Oh my god, you're literally quoting the fucking Nozumi VA video of the Danganronpa retrospective video. Oh
No,
fucking god.
no, I didn't. I didn't know
Yeah,
that. No, I didn't.
you did.
No, I didn't.
That's exactly what she said in that video.
Dead
Yes,
ass?
she
Really?
did. She literally talks about that. She literally points out that detail in Celeste's execution. You almost said it word for word.
Bro, I haven't seen that video in like.
Oh, well, she was gonna have this glamorous death.
I didn't see that video in like months, bro.
Oh my God.
I just forgotten. I just forgot. I didn't realize that she said it like that. That's how I perceived it as, even before that video came out. Even on the first playthrough.
All associations with Cryokuma are purely coincidental. I do not
I didn't-
associate with content stealing.
I didn't realize that she beat for beat said that exact same thing. I didn't realize that till now.
She actually did say that. Oh my god, you actually did quote the fucking video. Cause I was like, I heard that and I was like, okay, wait, hold on, this man cannot actually have said that. Okay, who did he plagiarize from?
No, I
And
did.
I remember. Oh yeah, it's from that.
I did know. I did know. Wesley, I did know. Okay. I watched that video like once. I gave the Markiplier's three scary game treatment and fall asleep to it.
You hear that Nozumi voice actor? He thought your video was boring.
No,
He
I
fell
didn't.
asleep to that.
No, I just put it on.
He
And
said it was suck. He
okay.
said you were boring.
You're putting shit in my mouth, and I don't appreciate it. I love that video. I love all her 4 Danganronpa videos, even Ultra Despair Girls, which was kind of objective, but I still love it anyway.
He said that shit was boring. He said that shit made him snore.
Anywho, I like the Crusher because you can feel the absolute pressure behind it, knowing that your death is coming slowly, but you can still hear it as it gets closer. All while Monokuma is talking about some random bullshit
louder.
on like the chalkboard.
Birds and the bees.
It's like, man, the last thing I want to see when I die is talking about how can you fuck somebody. You know what? Not a way to go out.
You could have fucked somebody.
I could have. It's like, wait, Monokuma, let me check my Twitter right quick. Don't kill me.
Was there. Monokuma hentai. Chris.
Oh no. But I like the fact that this is, to add on, this is the second trial in the franchise that had a failed execution. And this is the very first one.
Yeah, because Alter Ego steps in and basically like, no, I got you, fam.
Yeah, and
Naegi miraculously survives falling into the dumpster because he landed in a bunch of garbage.
yes, because apparently I'm assuming that was like a 200 feet drop into nothing but garbage, which just looked like it's full of like sharp objects and just broken shit.
Oh god, he probably fell on top of all of Hifumi's cum tissues when he was doing stuff with the hentai magazines he brought in.
Oh my god. I was like, if I did that, if I was Makoto and I landed that kind of shit, I'd be like, I wish they could have just killed my ass at that point. It's like,
He just starts screaming out loud from the bottom, just being like, I'm still here!
like, just kill me. I want it now. I'm begging for it. I need that. I desire that.
Would it go, when he's landing, would it go like squish and you just hear like a smushing sound, or would it just be like crunch?
It'd be both.
Because of how long those tissues have been down there.
Like from the top,
Oh,
it'll be
God.
on the top. It'll be crunchy,
Right.
but as it gets to the bottom, it'll be squishy.
No, it'd be the opposite way. Wait,
No,
what the
because,
fuck do you mean?
because on the outer layer will be crunchy, but the inner layer will be like squishy because it holds all the moisture and shit.
Okay, okay, so it's like a fucking sponge or something?
Yes.
Jesus
It's like,
Christ.
oh man, this shit.
I thought you were doing like some ass backward like physics stuff where you're being like, okay, somehow the older tissues are still somehow filled with fresh stuff, and the newer ones are somehow already crusty as shit. I was like, what the hell?
No, because since they're in the basement dumpster area, the ones on the outside are gonna probably dry up faster, because there's probably no real good air in there. So the ones on the inside will probably still be nice and moistened. So when he lands in it, you're gonna hear that crunch and sploosh, and it's like, oh, please tell me this is anything but Hifumi's rags. It's like, No, where's like just died.
It's just the bag rips open. The bag rips open slowly, and it's just like a tiny little like white liquid just starts pouring out. And he's just like, oh god. Oh.
Bro, I will back away from that
Starts
shit.
throwing up.
He doesn't even use tissues. He uses like fucking like actual trash bags. So it's like literally just bags of cum. It'd be good. It'd be
Vile. So.
Hey, it makes that.
So
Oh, never
gross.
mind. I can't bring that up. I'm sorry. That's kind of fucked up.
Yeah, no, please do bring it up.
It makes.
Hey, look, chat. He brought something up, and then he's trying to avoid it. Look, he's trying to avoid responsibility. This is why you shouldn't get him to his monetization status. This is why you shouldn't get him to his subscriber goal.
Fine.
Do this for the future.
Fine. It was that one doujin I read about Danganronpa about Hifumi and like
Oh my God.
Celeste. And it was like a doujin that was trying to like rationalize how Celeste convinced Hifumi to become like the murderer for her, to be an accomplice. I said an accomplice. It was really good, surprisingly.
Wow, please. Oh yeah, Chris checking out that Danganronpa hentai. Well, definitely not get any strike from the fans afterwards.
If he was a real,
If
you were a real fan, you would take all the material and eat it like a super trooper and ask for seconds.
yes, Chris, the great. Oh my god! Oh, I made a major slip up. Oops.
Shocked and appalled. Oh well, what can I do? I'm not gonna make everyone happy, but it's
too
like
late.
it's too late. It's too late. I can't undo that. I can't just delete that footage.
Cool. You can delete this little segment. You can just censor it afterwards.
Just be like a
Make it never happen.
No, I'm gonna put that
Delete.
FNAF VHS video on it. Just like the viewing of this footage is prohibited. Discard it immediately.
Yeah, no. Anyway, like, Mr. Cool, it literally just would be like, oh yeah, the Danganronpa fandom. Yeah, known for their boundless tolerance towards hentai, and definitely never censoring it when you look it up in incognito mode.
Incognito mode on hentai at like 3 in the morning. Say less. It's a weekend for me. That's a Friday morning.
Can't believe it. There's only like two doujin types for Danganronpa. It's either Celeste is involved or Tenko's involved, and she has a giant cock.
No, surprisingly.
Anyway.
No, never mind. Never mind. I'm not getting into that. I was about to like just.
Oh, yeah, let's get into the questionable stuff that you get into.
I was about to open that Pandora's
what skeletons
box.
are you keeping in your closet?
I was gonna say there's a lot more material. Hell, I have seen more of Danganronpa 2 cast more than I see 1 or V3. There was even one I regret looking with my own eyes. It was called Pink Sandwich. Oh my god, I fucking hate that one. Well, I don't hate it. It was just regrettable at best.
It was because it's yaoi and he hates gays.
No, it was surprisingly it was kind of both. Sonny was there.
Oh god.
Oh my.
Jesus, we're getting too off topic. Where are we putting this fucking chapter? Let's leave this terrible conversation before it gets any worse.
I cannot stay my career with this shit. Yeah, I'm sorry, guys.
Too late, dude.
Like, people who are watching, just
don't
acknowledge that. Just don't acknowledge that didn't happen. That was non-canon. That was filler. Like Boruto, that was filler.
It happened, but Chat, after tonight, if you still watch this and you quote this, he will personally come into your house and just kill you for it.
Kill you? I'm sending you to I'm sending you to a remote area in the Gobi Desert. It's like, have fun.
I'm sending you to Detroit, right, to get robbed.
Exactly. No, I'm sending you to Paris. The streets reek of piss and people who are gonna mug you like every 3 seconds. You do fine. I promise.
Then we'll finally know the answer to the question of who was in Paris.
Exactly. I would give chapter 5.
The answer was Kuma.
I would say chapter 5 is... I gotta be honest, it's a B.
You would give it a B.
I'll give it a B because I don't... I don't favor it, but I'm not putting it lower because it wasn't bad. It was just short.
Give it an A, personally.
A high A or a low A? Is it better than chapter 4 or is it
I
lesser?
just give it a regular A. I'd say equal A for both, for chapter 4 and 5. Like, I love this stretch of the game more.
Really?
Here's the thing. Usually when it comes to scenarios like this where it's just like, here's one that's setting up a lot of stuff, and then here's the payoff, I usually end up liking the payoff more than I like the setup. But I think as we go into these other tiers, into the other games and all this stuff, I've come to realize that Danganronpa is the exception to that rule, where I tend to end up liking the setup more than I like the
payoff?
The payoff. Yeah.
Yeah, I get
Definitely
you.
like the setup of this one more. It's definitely stronger. So that's why I would put it in A. So I have no idea where this is gonna go, because one's in A and one's in B, and we can't really decide. And we have no idea what the dude in chat is thinking at all. He's probably thinking of reporting us to the YouTube headquarters for all we know. But listen, I don't know.
I'll put it in A with you. I meet you halfway and put it on A.
Okay, how dare you agree with me? This is not what this tier list is supposed to be about. We're supposed to be killing each other.
Hey, I put it in low A. It's not better than 4, but it's still better than chapter 2. In terms of being like if it was in B.
Okay. Alright. So, yeah. Junk Food Dashi is in A. Hooray. And now, we get to the last one of this entire tier list.
Ultimate Pain.
Oh my god, it's the end of the first game, and that means...
Oh god.
Oh my god, it's the ending of a video game that he likes. That means he hates it immediately and was like, why couldn't it have continued for 20 more chapters? What is this?
Why not? But anywho,
and
chapter
you're the person
6.
that's literally just like...
Ultimate pain, ultimate suffering, ultimate despair, ultimate execution, and ultimate death. Which I like a lot. A lot of people don't like it as much. Honestly, there's... As much as I want to give it a summarization, there's not a lot to summarize. It's just that after, following chapter 5 when Makoto got dumped into the trash, Kyoko landed there following suit. After Makoto spent some time, probably slowly, starving to death down there because it's garbage. But Kyoko found her in the garbage after throwing herself down there as well, giving him some food, telling him what's going on, and everything's going on. They got the key, they climbed up the super long Metal Gear Solid 3 ladder, which led back to the incinerator room that was used in the first trial. They came out the garbage and went to the dining room, where they met everyone who was still remaining, which is Byakuya, Toko Fukawa, and Hagakure, who all profusely apologized for... Oh yeah, Asahina as well. Who all profusely apologized for...
She's there too.
Yeah, she's there too. For, sending to his death, and he's just like, it's alright. I'm still here, let's go solve the mystery. So Makoto and Kyoko went to the gym to go meet with Monokuma, and demanded one last wager, the ultimate challenge between hope and despair. Monokuma proposed that they could solve all the mysteries that happened in his academy before the class trial. He will reveal everything before time is up, the truth about what happened, and that's solving every mystery. The academy itself, the headmaster, just cleaning up all the loose ends that you probably haven't thought about for 3 seconds.
The whole setup is basically that they called out all the Malabes saying you rigged that last trial so that way either one of us would have been killed. But look what's happened now. We're still both alive. And now that the entire thing that you've been showing to somebody, they're going to see that you had to cheat to ultimately get the result that you wanted. And you can't let that slide, can you? So let's do this ultimate gamble. If we can solve every mystery around here, you have to let us all go.
Exactly.
And if we can't, we all get executed. And he just basically accepted it because he was like, okay, that would be more entertaining than anything I could have ever thought of.
Pretty much. So the whole time they were just solving the mystery and stuff. Free reign of all the academy.
Yeah. Entire thing, including the rooms that he was including the rooms they couldn't previously have accessed.
Yes.
The actual headmaster's room and like the Monokuma room in the back.
And the one in the
Because in the data center,
yeah.
there was like a giant Monokuma door that they couldn't get into, and they had no idea what it was, but now they could get in.
Oh, and don't forget the
go
room.
on.
And don't forget the room in the by the headmaster's office, the old part of the Hope's Peak, the complete destroyed bloodstain room.
Yeah, that one classroom.
Yeah.
Yeah.
But going back to the data room, it turns out that when they discovered it, and would have been broadcasting to, it shows a camera behind them. So technically, it's all being broadcasted back to them and back to the headmaster. So in a way, it never was really being broadcasted to anyone outside. Well, at least that's what they believe so far. But after discovering some things here and there, the truth has been revealed that the headmaster was also Kyoko's father, which has never been brought up until now.
Oh my god.
With the present in the box. And a painting right on the table next over. Kyoko harbors some...
What's in the box?
What's in the fucking box? But, you know, Kyoko has moments with it. And this is for bonus context for anyone who didn't know, and we didn't mention, the very first execution when you start the game was the headmaster himself, and also Kyoko's father, who has died. So the bones from that execution were the ones in that box. Which is kind of cool.
Fun fact about that.
Fun fact. We failed to bring that up.
Oh, fun fact about it personally, I didn't even realize that was the headmaster. Headmaster that was executed the first time I played around to it. I got to that point where you open the box and you find the bones and all that stuff. I didn't make the connection.
Really?
That the guy who was executed in the intro was the same skeleton that was just stuffed into the box.
So you just thought it was just some random jobber?
I literally was just like, oh, that's the headmaster. I realized that the headmaster was stuffed into the box. I didn't realize that the guy who was executed at the beginning was also the same guy later on. I literally was just like, oh, I thought this was just showing me what this game was like. I didn't realize that was actually like just the headmaster.
It was just some random guy that got killed. Someone who had no relevance to the story. Just like, yeah, we're just showing you how this game's gonna roll.
We were showing you how crazy this game is off the bat, and technically, it's true.
It's true, but that was some quiet foreshadowing.
You see this tiny little bear. You see this tiny bear and this fucking rocket ship sending this random dude into space before it like crashed down while drilling the thing. But this entire time, I never realized it was the same person, that he was the headmaster. I only found that out because I watched the fucking Noisy voice actor video. And I was like, oh wait, that was that guy? Oh shit. And fun fact, when I was replaying the game, I forgot about that detail. So I was literally just like, oh, they're killing the random jobber again.
Oh my god.
I probably would have done the same thing.
History was gonna repeat itself.
Done the same thing.
I mean,
exactly.
I don't blame you. It's very subtle with it. You don't know who this person is. You don't know if they're going to be relevant to the plot later on. Until like at the very last chapter was like, oh, so this is the guy who got killed. I mean, I could tell by the slight detail on like on the crack in his skull from the execution to the one in the box. But that could be disproven as that could have been anyone's crack in skull.
Than that random jobber, man, it would be crazy. Nobody knew this. It's so weird.
But yeah, it's the headmaster, Kyoko's father. They solve more mysteries, and then they get to the trial, the ultimate, like, to bring the end to the killing game. A lot more debates ensue out, and it turns out that the ultimate mastermind is right there, and it's none other than Junko Edashima, the ultimate fascination. Or
Fashionista.
Fashionista.
Did you say the ultimate fascist?
No, fashionista. I said it wrong. I didn't say fascist.
Fashionista. It just.
I, I,
I
s-
thought you were
I,
trying to say the ultimate fascist for a second. I
I,
was
wa-
going to be like, hold on.
I
What the
was
hell was that in that game?
I was gonna be streamlined and say like the ultimate fashion sensation or model, because that's how I would put her as. I can't say the title to save my life.
Fashionista.
But it's Junko Edashima, a big twist. And everyone's kind of shocked because it's Junko. Like, didn't we see you get skewered like in the first chapter? It's like, yes and no. Turns out, the person who got skewered was none other than Mukuro Ikasaba, her sister, another ultimate despair as they call him. She was disguising herself as her sister to be, I guess, a plant for them to go. But it seems like Mukuro didn't anticipate her sister killing her in that moment of defiance, which brought more ultimate despair, which is, Junko's whole bread and butter, despair, everything that gives her despair. She could probably cut her fucking hand open with a paper cut and be like, I love this pain, it gives me so much despair. Like, anything that involves hope and the whole usual of this is just a boring thing to her. She likes the unpredictability of despair that it could bring. Death, sorrow, misery, pain, paranoia, whatever it is. As long as it's causing someone turmoil, she will revel in that. And she wishes to spread it among everybody. She's revealed to be the ultimate mastermind, being Monokuma, the one that controlled him. The one who forced everyone to be in a killing game. The one that brought people to their very lowest and driven them to kill each other. And as the trial progresses, she soon reveals that she has simply given everyone anesthetics and wiped their memories somewhat. So it's been at least a year or two, if I remember correctly, since they were ever administered to Hope's Peak. And by that time alone, the world outside has gone to shit. Because she has sparked on this thing called the tragedy, or what they normally called it, the most terrible, the most horrible, the most despair-inducing thing that ever happened in human history, which you may have gotten subtle hints about in the first game and later on in the second game. Now that everyone realized that the world outside is completely fucked and no one's coming for them, so that means all their friends, their families, their lovers, anyone out there is either dead or about to be dead or a despair-ridden maniac, everyone starts to lose hope. Except for Makoto, who believes that they can still persevere and defeat Junko and put an end to this. So Junko decided to have one last game with them. If everyone could persevere and keep with the side of hope and vote against Junko, she would simply let everyone go and have herself be executed. But then by proxy, when she died, the air purifier and Hope's Peak was shut down, thus making this place uninhabitable to live in. So be forcing everyone to go embrace the real truth outside of Hope's Peak, the desolate world that they heard of and seen now. But if they all choose despair and vote for Makoto, they could all live peacefully at Hope's Peak, which is like at this point like less than 5 to 6 people. So after some more debating and Makoto bringing more pictures of people and showing people like, hey, there's hope here, we can believe in hope, they all inevitably defeat Junko. Junko's reveling in the despair and just be like, yeah, I want this, I want to die, I want to know this ultimate despair, this ultimate pain and execution, as the chapter title surmises. So in her execution, she went through literally every single execution that she has instilled onto everyone going from this game. Even the Crusher, where she is sitting in the chair with a crown on her head, holding the Monokuma, swinging back and forth with a smile on her face, giving a peace sign before the Crusher crushed her. And for a moment there, before it did, she looked up and realized, just for a brief moment, damn, wait, I changed my mind, and then got turned into a pancake. Thankfully, in her demise, the button to control the door was thankfully tossed out before it did, or just didn't get crushed. So after all that's said and done, the remaining students, gathered whatever they had or said their final goodbyes and took everything they could with them, telling the brave Hope, embrace the world outside, no matter how desolate, no matter how despair-inducing, no matter how soul-crushing it could be. They still had each other, and they could still create that same hope for everyone else out there. So when Mika hit that door and the door opens, it's over. We don't know what's outside that world beyond just a white flash of light. And it's over from that point. Barring from the next game and the third game and the aforementioned side mainline game, or as I call it, the Danganronpa 1.2. Alright. What do you think about Josue? I mean, that. Fuck.
Well, I slipped up earlier, but I guess you can't too at this point. Oh well, time for censorship.
Oh well. I did title this with a tier list with a friend, so I mean, it doesn't really matter. They're not gonna take our one name and scour the billions of people on the internet, on the world to find us.
And then they find.
Junko fascism game theory. God damn it. Was Junko a racist? Did she believe in the Reich? It's just a theory. A gay theory.
Game theory. Was Junko actually Hitler's isekai reincarnation?
But there you have that. It's called Tanya the Great Evil or some bullshit like that. It's just honestly just Nazi lore.
Yeah, but time. Yeah, and that's why Karakuma loves it so much.
Oh yeah, because I love it for the Reich shit. Oh yeah, totally that.
It's off to it, honestly. It's disgusting.
Anyway, but what was your thoughts about Chapter 6 in particular?
Oh boy. I like Chapter 6. There are a lot of good messages. There's a lot of good messages in that one. But my problem with it is that it gets a little bit too damn repetitive for its own good. And I'm not a huge fan of that. I think every final trial in Danganronpa does this, where they just keep repeating the main theme, and it just gets beat in your head until the point where you're just like, all right, I get it.
Yeah, I get it. Hope good, despair bad.
Yeah, definitely think that drags it down to a bit, so that's why I don't think it's the perfect finale. I do love the introduction of Junko Nishima when she's finally revealed to be the ultimate despair. Just how completely batshit crazy she is from the very beginning, and you can tell, oh, this isn't like a person that you can even try to reason with. This is just a psychopath. This is just a full-on sociopath who is just trying to.
Just go on off the edge.
Trying to bring their own philosophy for the sake of doing so.
Yeah, this is a crazy person who's beyond saving. I think that this chapter in particular was kind of long. Like, besides the repetitiveness, the trial was definitely long. And as you aforementioned, it did felt samey after a while. It's just, we get it. It's this, that, this, and that. But I personally liked it as a final trial for the first game. You know, even though it kept beating me over the head that hope is good, don't go to despair. It was, I guess at the time when I first played it, I liked the overwhelming reveal that the outside world was completely just decimated. Is that, you know, the outside world was just running with people who get killed for less. People who just either were killed or be killed. Dog eat dog world. The world as itself crumpled how many years ago? And it's been a while since they've been in the academy. The fact that they lost gaps in their time. The fact that they themselves locked them in that academy. Because I forgot to mention, or I failed to remember, that didn't Junko show them like tapes of them being administered at the Hope's Peak? Each of them willingly admitted and willing to be put in the Hope's Peak shelter program. It's like, yeah, we'll be in Hope's Peak. We'll be the new hopes of the future. And we'll stay here and lock ourselves up. I might get that for V3.
Yeah, V3 and they Chad, this is gonna be a field day. You're gonna see irate.
Oh, no. But we're not there
so
yet.
Much is. We're not even close to being there, but man, Chad, the day comes. Glorious.
But yes, chapter 6 was really good. I again do mention that, like you said, it was just samey after a while. It was repetitive, but the overall message was good, and I love the moments of just of trying to convince everyone to come to hope, especially the little photos of everyone that every character had that shows everyone else except for them, and Junko in the background being covered by something, whether it's water, whether it's like someone else's arm or a branch or something. It really is cool. And the twist that Mukuro was actually there this entire time but was dead long before this shit even popped off was kind of crazy. It only makes me wish that it makes me wish that I wish I could have known Mukuro more, because in the game she mentions that Mukuro was the ultimate soldier. Like she was like some Captain Marvel COD shit. Like, but yet she's dead, which is crazy, because being the ultimate soldier, I thought she would have reflexes to know against her being skewered. And it only boils the question: did she let herself get stabbed? Was she aware that she was gonna die? And if so, why did her Fenrir per shit kicked in and she just dodges it? Kind of does like a Danganronpa If in the second game, like a whole side novel that delves into this what if possibility. No, it's in the second game.
Is it?
Yeah, it was in the second game. So. Danganronpa If.
Oh, yeah, that's right. You played the games. You played the game so frequent and often. That's why you were so prepared for this to fucking thing.
But yeah, keep making that joke. But I remember that though. It's in the second game. It was just like, what is this doing here? Shouldn't this be in the first game? And it's like, yeah, it's just here. Like, okay. But I know that Danganronpa If took that concept and made it into its own little small novel, which is actually a good read, surprisingly.
I didn't read it.
I mean, basically, it was just Mukuro became another character in the main cast, and they stopped Junko and they escaped together, basically.
And then she made out with Makoto because she was like, "You're so hot, glorious and sexy," and it turns out it's just Makoto's Tumblr fanfic.
I would believe it. It was a good read, though. Hell, even Ultra Despair Girls had one for Hagakure. Ultra Despair Hagakure, where he was in Toa City as well. But I know we're not gonna touch that game anytime soon. But I wanted to mention that while I was still here.
I'm never touching that video game. Because tomorrow I'm going to be taken out by YouTube assassins.
What, you're gonna be like the Jew Wario thing? Maybe shot in a naked alleyway?
Oh god, no, we're not. No, stop bringing up the nostalgia critic. You do this every fucking time.
Right. I don't do it every time. What kind of shit are you trying to feed these people?
Do. Yeah, you do. You literally bring up the dog walker situation every single time, and I go, Chris. Please
because
stop.
It's
Stop
funny. It's funny. It is absolutely funny. This is some Danganronpa shit, which is why I bring it up.
We cannot get into this right now. We need to end the stream. These people are literally watching us. This one guy has just been stuck here. He's been lining up his entire thing, and he's probably running out at this point. And now the soberness is kicking in, and he's like, "Oh, God, these people are annoying."
Fine, let's wrap it.
I need more.
Fine, let's gear up for the last one. All right. Overall, it was a good trial. Honestly, it was a good start of the last trials, which thankfully is also another case syndrome where the last trials are always the longest. But that's not to complain about. As a first game last trial, I say it brought up on a good finale. It brought up a lot of questions that solve a lot of mysteries while still opening up more things. It left room to open more and expand on the universe itself, well, the world itself, possibly a prequel to the before the Academy hit, which did happen, but I'm not gonna throw shade here or there, not yet. But it was certainly good. It left more mysteries in and it solved a lot of questions. Even made Junko this really great final villain. Unhinged, crazy, cared about despair and wishing she could just give people nothing but that same madness. I love every bit of it. I'm hoping that eventually people can see that too. So I want to say that final chapter deserves, I say, an S.
I give it a B.
A B?
Yeah, B for bitching. I don't know where I was going with that.
So you want to give it a B? It's neither here or there. Like it was not that good, but it wasn't that fucking perfect. It was just indifferent. It's
And
like it's
that's
alright.
I I say it's a good, decent finale. I just don't like how it's so repetitive with many of the things it wants to do by the end of it.
I get you. I get
And
you.
while I do like Junko's and Ashiva's thing, it definitely gets grating after a bit.
I get you.
But I do like it overall. It's a nice finale. It's just a bit too. It's a bit more than it needs to be. I feel like you could have cut it down a bit more, and then it'd probably be better for me. But as it is right now, it's just like B for me.
Alright. I'll meet you halfway and make it a high B. Better than chapter 2. But not better than chapter 5.
And that make it an A then? Wouldn't that make it an A though, technically, if we're meeting halfway? Because I'm giving it a B and you're giving it an S.
Well, true. So I'll put it in A then. The low A.
You're gonna rank it above. So you're probably gonna rank it above everything else.
No, it's low.
You.
No, it's low A. It's at the bottom of the barrel. It's not better than 5 or 4, but it's better than chapter 2 going forward. 2, 1, and 3.
Yep.
So far, I like this.
I say so. See, this is why I wanted to do it per game. I didn't want to do the stupid like, oh yeah, let's just do 1, 1, 2, 1, and 3, 1, because then we wouldn't know how to organize this thing later on.
Yeah, and we want to get our thoughts as betterly collected as normal. We struggling to figure out what the hell we're gonna do with this.
Yeah, now we have a good, decent baseline line to be like, okay, so how much do we like this trial now? Do we think it's as good as this one? Okay, hey, then we'll put in this tier. Do we think it's higher in this trial, but do we still think it's the same level? Yeah, and then we can just change it at the end, where we can be like, okay, so now that we've ranked all the cases, we can change it up at the last minute in case we're just like, okay, maybe this case isn't nearly as good as I thought it was. Like, in the context of itself, it's like, okay, case 1-6 is like an A tier right now for us. But later on, it could just change. It could end up either being dropped to B tier or it could somehow raise to S tier. I don't know. That happened, but it probably could.
Depending how chapter 6 is gonna, depending how the second game is gonna go. Which I could tell is gonna have a lot of things in the second game. Oh, actually, no, it's a lie. I think second game is gonna be a more easier decision. Third game is gonna be kind of like wishy-washy.
Third one's gonna be the fucking all-out war between both of us.
Oh, of course it's gonna be. It's like, no, like game 3, case 2 is mid. It's like, nah, that shit's S tier. Like, nah, you're S tier. It's like, nah, you're mid.
One's insulting, one's complimenting. Oh,
Of course. But yeah, I like this so far, and it's actually worth its salt. I can't wait to work on the second one and see how we delve into that one. I think next time though, which should probably be
holy shit.
Yeah, I think next time, second game will be a little lighter on the context. I'm not saying that we should.
The summary, because the summaries and all that stuff. Because holy shit.
Yeah, we kind of eaten up a lot of time with the summaries. We chewed a lot more than we anticipated, giving them like the full chapter.
Honestly, we probably shouldn't. Probably shouldn't have even done that, because it's like the people who are gonna watch this are the ones who are just like in the games already, so they probably already know, and they're gonna be like, why the fuck are you doing this? What's wrong with you?
I know, but I feel like that.
What's wrong with you?
I don't think it was bad. I think it was just, it just chewed up a little more than we anticipated, especially since it was just like, I think we added a little bit more detail to it, and it's just like, all right, we'll get here, this and that, and we get shanked. We don't know. I'm not saying it was a
Well,
bad
actually,
thing.
wasn't we add? I don't think we added more detail. I think it's just like one of us was being too detailed about the explanation. Then yeah, one of us was just brain farting the entire time, going like, hold on, what the hell is this? Fuck.
I know.
What the hell were these characters again?
I was struggling. I mean, I know like I said, I know who got murdered and who is the murderer. I just don't remember everything from the start of that chapter to the end of that chapter until at least like the trial.
Remember rejection, ladies and gentlemen, and yet claims to be a fan.
I know, right? I'm such a fake, real fan.
He actually just looked up the reason he was said early on that he watched all the execution videos so that way he can cover his ass. Has to be like, guys.
No, that's
I know what I'm talking about.
no, that's literally
Gave himself away. He was foreshadowing.
no, that's literally the legitimate reason how I watched Danganronpa and how I got into Danganronpa. I was watching like the first game and second games, like all like murders. I was like, wow, this is just kind of crazy. Who got executed? I swear to you, that's how I got kicked into Danganronpa to begin with. It wasn't the gameplay, it wasn't the fandom, it wasn't even the fucking story. It was just I watched someone get executed. Like, oh, that's kind of fire. How much does this game cost on Steam? Like $20 on sale? Shit, I'll buy it.
And I never played it until later on in my years.
I played it. I bought it on Christmas. I can literally remember what I bought. I bought the first 2 games and those 2 Sakura games. Oh my god, that was like the most regrettable purchase I ever made in my fucking life. I think
I spent $120.
Hey, I only spent about 100. No, never mind. I spent like $100 lately. Oh shit. I mean, I bought a lot of games.
On your crack addiction.
No, I got you because I actually bought games and some DLC.
You didn't. We all know it's a damn lie.
I did bought some video games. Where's my evidence at? Where's my evidence at? What the hell did I buy? I bought Resident Evil 5. I bought Resident Evil 4, Soul Calibur 6, Sniper Elite V2, Transistor, Spooky's Jump Scare Mansion. Actually, that was kind of it, really. Coffee Talk 2.
Gonna prove my point.
I mean, some of them were like on like sale, but they weren't cheap sale. It was like, oh yeah, this is like $60 less. You're still paying like the full price. You know, and the taxes too. They add like $3 on the tax, which is like a pain in the ass. Hopefully, I'll play the game this time.
Tax.
I'll probably play it this time.
Don't worry, he will not play the game at all. He will be completely unprepared.
Of course.
He will forget even more characters, and then I will be here to remind everyone about his original rankings of each of the tiers.
Which is still there if you want to watch it and poke fun at it. Shill.
Chat, that's your homework now. You have to watch that entire original video and you have to write down every single reason.
I mean, if you want me
so
to, if you want me to,
mock him.
I'll make a fucking community post and post a goddamn link if I need to. It's like, guys, you wanna watch someone fucked up?
Can't watch this shit. Alright, we got this tier list. This is the combined tier list of us each, but just show the audience just like what you would have put them on personally if this was just by yourself. Like, you don't even have to do like the case summarization or like do the justification thing because we've already done that for the most part. Just show where you would have put them personally and not like the combined opinion thing.
Just for clarity, so I can remember that. If I personally were to say, I think chapter 1 would have been a B as a starter child because it was good. Chapter 2, in my personal opinion, is still a B because I think it was decent. Chapter 3 stays at a D because 2 and 3 were like honestly my honest opinions. Chapter 4 is an S tier because it was just that good. Now thinking about it, 5, I put it in C because again it was short and I didn't think much about it. And chapter 6 is obviously my A tier. If I wanted to, I could change it up from like 4 being an S and 4 being an A and 6 being an S. Just because that's my personal tier list.
Man, that's funny. It's changed so much since the original tier list has changed so much compared to what you would have done on now. Holy shit, it's so different.
Is it like good different or like bad different?
I don't. Maybe it was a good different. Cause do you want to know what you had in your S tier?
What?
You had 2 of them.
What?
Want to guess them first, or do you want me to just straight up tell?
Just should have tell me, because you know I'm not gonna watch that video to save my life. I can't watch it.
Thank God. You see, Karakuma doesn't like his own history. Guys, never watch any of his old videos. Don't watch any of the old shit. Don't watch any of the cap cuts. Don't do any of that shit. Yeah, only watch the new one.
Anywho.
Mainline video. What? In your S tier, you had case 1-1 and case 1-2 in your S tier.
Really?
Yep.
Hmm.
Then you want to guess what case 1-3 and case 1-4 ended up in your A tier.
Huh.
So hilarious. And then case 1-5 and 1-6 ended up being in your B tier.
I think there was
Holy
some,
shit.
I think there was some bias with it, because it was trying to be good praises, but yeah, it was still trying to shit on it.
It wasn't you trying to shit on it, it was you just trying to give every case like this game is great and every trial in it is amazing and there's no such thing as a bad case in this game because spoiler alert, not a single one of these cases not a single one of the Danganronpa cases in the entire franchise, at least what we have, didn't end up in D tier. Not a single one. Not a single one.
Wait, you say
Combination of total?
Well, you said D tier? We do have one in D tier.
Yeah, but I'm talking about your old list.
Oh. True that.
Your old list never had a single D tier. Your old... Like, you had 3 in C, 3 in B, and then you have 5. No, you have 6 in A and S each.
Yeah, I was really deep in the biases.
Yeah. And I believe we already said this, but yeah, just to reiterate, I bullied this man after watching this entire video, and then he was just so depressed about it, and then he was like, I'm gonna delete this video afterwards.
Which, surprisingly, I didn't for some reason. Maybe I was crazy and I kept it out of spite.
Joker mode activate.
Like, just keep it. It's pain. Hey, it helped me remember that we was gonna do this stream anyway. And we did it, and look, with you here, the rankings are a lot better, and we got on point with them. It ain't just bias for bias sake.
Hey, look, we fucked around for 2 hours or so. Oh, we got a tier list where nothing ended up in S, and we pissed off everyone.
I mean, if they're mad, let them cope. It's just our tier list. If they want, they can make their own tier list and put everything in like fucking S and be like, best game ever, best franchise, nothing was mid.
It's our expertly made tier list that has factually the best opinions of all of it out there, because we stole everyone else's opinions because we have no original ones ourselves.
Of course we do. We played the fucking games. We have our own opinions.
Oh yeah. Yeah.
But I guess to wrap this whole thing up, to kind of like, you know, put it on slowdown, I would say this is a good stream, you know? I do humbly thank everyone for coming to it and entertaining it, especially fucking goddamn Space Ghost over there being the best commentator. Oh my god. But yes.
We'll be inviting you to the show. We'll be inviting you to the live stream next week, and you will have to carry both of us this time.
Yes, most likely. But yes, thank you for coming to the stream. I really appreciate it. It was worth it. This is the first time I invited my personal friend on here to do it. Yeah, I gotta say thank you. Like that. Thank you for coming to the stream. I'm glad that you're here, helping me with the tier list and being here. It made it a lot more easier for me to get to the points across and actually talk about it. I told you I needed you here to kind of make me feel like I could express it better. Because doing it in my own self, echo chamber didn't help a lot. So I'm really appreciated you could make time and, and be here.
And yeah, no, Chet, you have no idea. You have no idea what it's like. You think he struggles in his videos when he comes to talking, and then we get into like the personal conversations, and then it's just hours of me trying to decrypt the ancient Egyptian riddles that is his sentences. Because I'm just like sometimes I'm like, what the hell is he talking about? Because there is so much like mix of bad takes and like other weird shit thrown into there that I basically have to have like a degree in Kumaology just to figure out what the fuck's going on.
He's fluent in my language.
Um,
It's a master's degree, actually. Hey, but it's worth it. We,
Yeah, no.
we get
It's-
like
no, it's
9
great.
hours worth of calling, and that alone could be footage. It could be fucking streaming footage of just a 9-hour voice call.
But Chad, you do not want that. Trust me, it's terrible what we get into.
Yes,
It's absolutely awful.
like it is of itself like a cancer.
Awful. It is It is absolutely the worst thing. Like, if you thought it was bad here, we were like trying to tame ourselves for the most part. Or at least I was. I was trying not to go too off the deep end in here, but because we were trying to. As you saw, there was just times where we were just like gathering the other person, and being like, "All right, let's just get back on track, buddy." If we just did like our normal conversations, this stream would be like
6
at least
hours.
like 3 more hours longer.
3
Oh,
more
God.
hours. Which again, I do not.
Yeah, we basically.
I don't mind. Hell, I'd be down for the fucking 20+ hours streaming. But
Shout out GG boys.
But I'd rather start tomorrow when we could probably continue it and hopefully try to finish it. But if it's still gonna be
I
like
don't
last,
know.
if it's still gonna be like this time, we're like 3 hours in, then I'll definitely make it a 3-parter. Oh my god, 9 hours worth of a video to upload.
Yeah, we probably.
Not a bad idea.
Jesus Christ. Yeah, no, that's the thing. That's the thing, chat. This is the other thing we were debating about when we were making this. It's like, what would happen to this if we were to do the entire thing in one go? We were deciding basically if it's just like we were gonna do this in 3 parts or if we were gonna do this in one singular part. And I clearly underestimated how much was we talked about there, because I felt like we didn't really say nothing, but somehow we still managed to get like 2 hours in.
I know. I was thinking.
I thought this was gonna be like an hour, maybe like an hour and a half kind of discussion kind of deal. I didn't realize it was gonna be this long.
I know. I thought personally, we was gonna just breeze through it and be like, oh, it's only been like less than an hour. Well, might as well do the second game. Oh, we still have like 20 minutes left. Let's just go to the third game. I didn't think it was gonna be like 3 hours going in this. I didn't think it was gonna be that long. But we had a lot to talk about, and I'm glad for that. I thought we was gonna just kind of just fumble the rest of the way through and just have half-baked opinions, but I'm glad that we actually sat and talked about it while also giving the people who haven't heard of the game that still wanted to watch it despite the spoiler warning, some context behind it and hear our thoughts upon it.
Right.
So I gotta say, it was good. It was
Right.
good
And
filler.
hopefully we were not too painful when it comes to the entire conversation things, because I feel like there were just times where we're just repeating ourselves or just stumbling on top of our words, like we're like 5 years old and we're in kindergarten and we're barely learning how to say anything, and we just kept swearing a bunch to fill in the blanks of our brain, and as we were trying to come up with a new sentence. So hopefully this was entertaining at the least.
Yeah, I mean, I do agree with you. I hope it wasn't too much to watch. I hope it wasn't too bearing or too cringy to at least see for a moment. As he mentioned, we were struggling for a bit, but we did get there. We did make it to the finish line. And I'm personally happy with the results.
This feels like watching a Coma video live by the fangirl for real, for real.
Oh my goodness. Stop it. To be honest, this is better than
Give us your money if you're a real fan.
I don't have anything monetization set up. Unless I'm about to make a Patreon. Like, subscribe now, and you get an invite to my Discord server. You might get the role of Kitten.
For a whole $200, we will probably shout you out. It's actually just a 50-50.
50-50 if we're feeling feisty.
Ooh, feisty little
Uh,
thing, anyway.
But yes, name I can't sell, Space Ghost. Thanks for coming to the stream. Like, I really do appreciate you being here. You brought a lot of life, which is saying a lot.
To this dead channel.
To this relatively dead. Hey, listen, Thad. If this goes well in views, which I'm betting good money it will be, because this is actually a good video / stream. I think I might switch to this format more often or not. Like the live.
Oh, hooray! I'm gonna be dragged into it, and then
like the live stream podcast.
Every single one where he's gonna make me watch different shows. Hooray!
No, I won't be like that.
What's good? Don't worry, chat. The Ace Attorney tier list never gonna happen. It'll never happen. He'll never play those games for his life.
Hey, if this goes well, never say never. I will play the games and be like, all right, bet we're gonna do this tier list again, like we did Danganronpa.
It's too small to be a fan. Don't worry. Don't worry. Just sell the pants, and then get bigger pockets.
Exactly. Get trash bags. They'll be your pockets.
Become Santa Claus. Just have a magical sack that just carries an infinite amount.
Deep pockets.
Deep pockets. I'm sure.
But
oh man, I can't wait until the day we find out one of our audience members is just involved with the mob.
How the hell are we gonna get to that situation? Like, and what they're gonna do to us?
Just one day they just start coming to your house and they just start muscling in and being like, "Hey, we want the new video, and we want it now."
It's like, who the actual fuck is you?
I don't fuck with you.
Oh, my sack, alright.
My sack's magical, for real.
Yeah. They really do be like me. I can relate, for real.
Sell your sack, so that way you can give us money.
Exactly. Give us money. Give me money so I can pay him and I can feed my gacha addiction. Fate Grand Order isn't gonna play itself.
I know. Yeah, no, Chad, can you tell? Then he's forcing me by gunpoint to do all this shilling stuff. Because honestly, I would never ask for money.
I'm only shilling to pay you, so you can be compensated. You have given me 3 hours of your time for a live stream. I would like to pay you accordingly.
$3 trillion.
This is gonna make a fantastic supercut. I'm just saying.
Oh hell yeah.
This is gonna probably be like 20 hours on
yeah,
YouTube.
And somehow there's gonna be all cap cuts, baby.
Hey,
watch one of these clips get super popular and it somehow ends up getting us all canceled. Oh, that would be great.
I wouldn't mind it.
I would? What are you talking about? I have a life.
No one knows who you are. You don't have a damn channel. How the hell are they gonna cancel someone they don't know?
I'm Mr. Okay, chat. Check out my channel. It's youtube.com/Mr. Beast.
Of course, selling Mr. Beast out once again. We gotta cancel Mr. Beast for being so much as a human being to everybody.
Oh, we are not getting into this. I was making one joke and you already being like, I want to go to Twitter. I want to go to Twitter drama.
I want to make Twitter drama. I want to talk about things on Twitter. Don't worry, it's gonna be.
I want to be the commentary channel.
Don't worry. I might get off commentary for a bit and go do other things.
Sniff glue.
No, just go back to my usual touchy-feely crap and just make random videos. Commentary is soul-sucking in my eyes. Despite me doing it, it feels not fun. Okay.
Sucks the soul out of me. God, I wish I was offered that. Anyway. End the stream. End the damn stream before this gets worse.
Okay.
For your YouTube career.
All right. Let me just get my final goodbyes and stuff for everybody who was here.
The real
Okay.
Mr. Beast.
Everyone, thank you for coming to the stream. Again, thank you, that fan, for being here, helping me with the tier list. And we don't know when we're going to get... Oh, yeah, what time you want to continue tomorrow, host? That... It's hard, okay? What time you want to... You feeling for morning, noon, same time as today?
I'm fine with whatever. I'm fine with whatever time. I'm like Saturday and Sunday. I'm good.
All right, cause I was thinking this time tomorrow. I was thinking that tomorrow, like we'll do more. We'll go early.
Oh yes, you're the morning person. Yeah, that's the real truth.
I'm gonna eat dinner and take some Benadryl and be knocked the hell out for the rest of the night. I'm gonna skip log into my gacha games and wake up at like 6 a.m. Get everything ready and be like, hey, wake up. Time to finish this.
That is such a lie, and you fucking know it.
All right, if you get a text at 6 in the morning or 7 o'clock in the morning saying, hey, you ready? It's like, you know I ain't lying.
Chat, look, this is a lie. This is a fucking lie. You wanna know why? You wanna know why? You know when this stream was originally supposed to be going? Like in the noon. It was like supposed to be like at 12. We were supposed to be doing the stream.
Yeah.
They didn't contact me until like 5 in the afternoon. I was like, oh Jesus Christ! I legitimately thought this man had forgotten, and I was like, oh man, I got like a little bit of a lucky break. I could probably play a bit more. And then he just texts me, and he's just like, I'm actually ready. I'm like, what the fuck? Now you decide you're ready? Fuck it.
No. Actually, the truth about it is because I woke up late, and I was just like, damn, it's like 3 something. It's too late, and I didn't want to bother with it. But then I was like, you know what? It's only 3 something. I could probably text Sway, who's probably not busy, probably, and try to do it. You know, I was actually going to cancel today and do it next weekend, but I didn't want to wait like a whole week just to do this. Surprisingly not, because I felt bad. I was like, oh, he probably waited on me, and then I'm just gonna cancel. I was like, fuck it, I'm gonna do it. What's stopping me?
Gets blocked, completely ignored, and then friendship ruined forever.
Start cries like my friendship's gone. All I just wanted to do was just stream and make a tier list. I wasn't asking him to go dig a body for me like he's Crypto. Gotta help my boy Crypto. You trying to go dig up a body?
Yeah.
But anyway,
yeah, no.
This is the end of the stream.
This was nice stream.
Yes, it's nice.
Guys, this was my debut stream. Fun fact: I have no idea about this. I may start a YouTube channel, but I'm not sure about that. I've been thinking about that idea for us like as long as I can remember, but I honestly don't know if I even want to. And even if I did, I'm just gonna like dump out. I'm probably gonna do the same shit as this man right here, where I just dump out my feelings about something. But it's not gonna be about like Twitter drama. It's probably just gonna be about like how I feel about certain games and stuff. I'm not making any promises that I'm gonna upload anything ever. So I'm not even sure if I should. If I should even link a channel below. Probably not. But yeah.
If you, in my fairest opinion, I think you should. Obviously, don't follow my footsteps. Be in your own way. And honestly, if it's a good debut from this, stream going forward, I fully support you 100%. Honestly, I want to do more collabs in the future if you pursue being a YouTuber. So that way, I could get you have your own fandom too.
The name leaking so casual. I know, right?
I know.
We were trying to do this anonymous, but then it just kind of slipped out. Fuck it. Fuck it, to be honest.
To be honest, yeah.
It doesn't really matter at the end of the day, because more people are going by their real name than often not. At least that's how many YouTubers I've seen that's like, well, everyone already knows their real name, and half the people just call them by their actual name instead of like just the YouTuber thing.
Of course.
So it probably wouldn't have mattered in the long scheme, but who cares? But I was like, well, I wanted to keep the mystery up for as long as I can, and then I was the first one to let it slip. Oops.
It's alright. I'm not hard. There's nothing wrong with it. I personally I don't mind it. I prefer regular names. As much as I have my name, the whole branding names, like, nothing wrong with my name. It's a friend. I'm not talking to a fucking stranger. I understand that there could be, like, personal reasons behind it, like people could be psychos and want to leak your location and shit like that. But it's nothing that deep.
They just absolutely despise you. Akuma lore expands every time, bro.
Of course, this
Oh,
is like the big step for
this
like
will be
expansion
fun.
lore.
Yeah, cause he has a friend. Oh my god, what expansion?
This is big lore. I have a friend who did a stream with me for like 3 hours. It's all good, guys.
I'm real.
I'm not talking to a box in a wall. I'm not saying that I have a friend, but in reality, I'm talking to myself. I actually had someone here.
And all those videos that you watched, if anyone had watched all the Karakura videos and they just sit here about him just like casually talking about like that one friend who's a real asshole about everything, that was me. I'm real. I'm not like this like chatbot that he just magically made sentient one day. I'm a real human being, I think.
Exactly.
I don't know, I may be a machine.
Actually, Josue, you should make that channel. God, I want to, like, after the stream, I want to link it so that way people can watch your shit, or we subscribe to you already. You grow a little fan base, and we can build our crouch off that. We could do that. We can make videos together like this.
I don't know. The whole thing about that is just like I don't like. One thing is like, yeah, it'd be nice. But on the other hand, I'm also just the kind of person that I don't think I would be able to run a YouTube channel in the long term.
I mean, I get it.
I just kind of would be like, that's just like, I don't really think if I even did this as a main career, I don't even think I would take it as seriously as I probably should.
No need to. It's just a hobby,
And
at the very least. That's what YouTube is at the end of the day, a hobby.
I probably just treat it as a hobby.
I mean, personally, if you
Use AI voice changer to make my voice. Yeah, exactly.
There you go. But you can make it a hobby. I'm not saying it should be like a dedicated job. You know? I mean, that's how I treat YouTube at first and foremost. It's just a thing at the end of the day. I make a video, I upload it, and I do my own thing. I know people will take that as like, as kind of not the right direction, but that's how I believe it. It's nothing world ending.
As an insult.
You don't gotta dedicate your life to YouTube alone. Like what you get in it is like all about YouTube. It's like, no. If I get growth from it, from just the simplest video, if I don't get growth, I'm not gonna be looking terrible about it. So if you do it, don't carry that expectation.
I'm literally just gonna upload a video about just like talking about whatever the fuck I like or dislike or anything in between middle. Not really, cause we oh god, this is getting a bit more personal. But we had a conversation that like lasted 3 hours, and I think 2 of those hours was just dedicated to me talking about one game. And it was crazy.
Exactly, and we can have that. Hell, if I could turn my second channel into one of those kind of podcast streams where we just have our regular conversations. Even though that would probably be detrimental, I honestly prefer it.
Or you just put it here on the main channel. Might as well experiment with everything.
It's like what, a 9-hour conversation, a 9-hour phone call. It's just like, oh man, remember that one thing that happened?
Remember that time you told the Ruby fandom to basically go kill themselves because they like an old animator?
No, wait, we can't bring that up. We can't. Speaking of which, I need to get rid of that video.
No, you don't. No. Chat. Save the video. Save the video now.
Don't you download it.
Save the video now. Download it and
don't you
repeat
download it. Do not download it.
Chat, it's your one job.
No.
You have to preserve the history of the entire channel.
No.
Free blackmail. Go.
Do the opposite of that. No. How long did I upload that video? Oh my god. Was that... Never mind. That was like 4 weeks ago. Damn. Oh well. If the DMCA wasn't so up your ass, I personally would love to do like anime streams. Just like go watch animes and shit and talk about that.
Oh yeah, finally you can watch 2 anime in a year instead of the usual one or the zero from time to time.
Hey, I wouldn't mind. It's like, hey, I swear, I'm about to do a stream. I'm gonna go binge some like bad shoujo rom-coms.
I'm not gonna watch it with you. I'm not gonna do that fucking torture with you.
Can I gaslight you and say we'll watch at least 3 episodes of One Piece at the end of it? One episode will equivalent to like 5 episodes of One Piece.
Oh fuck no, we're not doing that shit. I'm not gonna be like, you're not gonna do the horse and carrot thing with me, where you're basically gonna send me into a minefield, and be like, well, you're gonna get a delicious carrot at the end.
It's like,
Like, Chad, this man actually tried to convince me to watch Redo of Healer because he's like, this is generally one of the best anime I've ever seen of all time.
I thought it was a good anime. I didn't hold him at gunpoint and said he had to watch it.
This man actually begged me for weeks on end, and to be like, watch Redo of Healer, please, come on.
I said give it a try. I didn't say he had to watch it. I was
basically saying the same shit.
No, giving it a try would at least been like the first 2 episodes, at least, just enough to get enough context in the world. Cause that's how I put it as try. The first 2, you don't like it, bail out.
This man basically tried to make me watch revenge porn, or disguised as an anime.
I mean,
and then he was just like trying to justify it to me for like weeks on end, being like, it's not porn. It's not porn.
It's funny because it ended up on H Anime, which is fucking hilarious, along with World's End
Yeah,
Harem.
that's how he ended up realizing it was actually just porn, because it ended up on H Anime, not because of all the reasons I gave, which were legitimate reasons. He was just like, oh, it's on H Anime now? Oh, I guess it's a hentai. Oh man, I guess I was wrong. Sorry about that.
It's kind of funny. It really is. I don't think even Interspecies Reviewers is on H Anime. But here comes Redo.
Yeah, it is. What are you talking about?
It is?
Yeah, it is. Yeah, it is. What the fuck are you talking about?
I didn't know this. Why no one told me this shit?
Chat. This is why. If you sometimes wonder why Karakuma doesn't know like basic ass shit, this is why he doesn't Google anything. He literally just goes in raw, and then just goes like, oh, wait, what do you mean this is gonna fail? What the fuck?
Of course, it's better at its finest. Okay, we really gotta stop digging
and
around.
the damn live.
We gotta stop digging around, bro.
And the damn live stream before this person gets knocked out by the stroke that we're causing.
All right.
Jesus.
Until then, I have been your host with your most. Until then, I bid you adieu.
Bye.